Sounds good.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You got it. Triton Nation, welcome back to your home broadcast. Finally, after 2 long weeks of football at the NJCAA level, we are back here at Dodger Stadium in Fort Dodge, Iowa, where the Iowa Central Tritons, the 7th-ranked team in the entire NJCAA, will be taking on the Ellsworth Panthers. It's rivalry week, baby. I can't wait. You know, I tell you what, these are two very, very different teams. And since Coach Montalto has came here in 2017 when he originally started with Ellsworth, they have been undefeated since, nearly going 10-0 since then. This season, joining the Jayhawk Conference for our individual conference with Ellsworth Panthers, the Iowa Western Reavers, and the Iowa Central Tritons, the Tritons have really been putting on a showing. They just went up against the second-best team in the entire nation in Hutchinson, where they lost 28-31, but they had the lead all the way halfway through the third quarter. It was one heck of a battle down there in Kansas. Similarly to that, they were the only similar opponent that Ellsworth has also seen, where Ellsworth also lost to Hutchinson 7-70. So you can see how much of a difference each quality of team may be, but that doesn't matter. You got to go out. You got to really be ready to play this ball game because these two hate each other. And just like with Iowa State and Iowa, just like with the Packers and Vikings, it's always going to be close. We're going to get into the pregame report in just a little bit after the national anthem. Stick around. Triton football played right here on Triton Nation's YouTube channel.
at this time, please remove your caps and stand with right hands over your heart when recognition joins our flag. As the Triton Marching Band, conducted by Director of Athletic Bands Jeremy Smith, plays the national anthem of the United States of America, the Star-Spangled Banner.
Triton Nation, welcome back to your home broadcast of the Iowa Central Tritons taking on the Ellsworth Panthers. Triton Nation coming into this one is ranked as the 7th best team in NJCAA football, but you better believe that those are just numbers, not facts. The Iowa Central Tritons last week went up against a very tough Hutchinson team where they had the lead for the majority of the contest. They ended up losing 28-31, but Hutchinson has historically been known as a top 5 school in the NJCAA for football. So we're going to have to look forward towards that. I know Iowa Central is hungry to go forward and to get the national championship this year. And since the addition of adding the college football playoff at the NJCAA level, just like what they do with the FBS, now they really want to make the top 4. So from here on out, it's very, very important that not only the Tritons get all the way through with victories, but really steamroll these guys. And this one we can't take for granted. Yes, Ellsworth has struggled this season. They're coming into this game 0-2 as they have lost to a similar opponent in Hutchinson, like I mentioned earlier. But I tell you what, that rivalry is strong, just like how we always see a close game between the Cyclones and the Hawkeyes, how we always see a close game between the Vikings and the Packers. You could say the Chiefs and the Raiders. It is just like that. It's always close here. And matter of fact, the last game that was played right here in Fort Dodge, Iowa, was the closest the game has ever been. Crawling away with the victory was Iowa Central, 36-32, and that was a very, very rainy day. If you were with Triton Nation last year, you remember it, as there was about an hour-and-a-half long rain delay. I know we had some rain this morning and a little bit into last night, but right now it looks like we're pretty good. Got some cloudy skies, that's for sure. Light wind heading into the north, but I tell you what, it's time for football. That's what I'm focused on. That's what the fans are focused on. The Jack is packed at Dodger Stadium, a bunch of blue over in the stands over there, and that's only going to fill up more and more as fans are just getting their work from the concession stands. And Ellsworth has a good crowd over here, too. Otherwise, folks, this is Hank Ambrose for Triton Nation. Also, a huge shout-out to Donnie and Derek on camera today and Rusty over in the trailer for helping us produce the broadcast for you guys today. The Iowa Central Tritons heading into this one have some dominating starters I'm going to announce for you right now. Starting at quarterback, you can expect Amarion Bartlett. Interesting story about this quarterback situation. Zach Marker was the starting quarterback coming into this one. He did get injured in week number 1, where he's had to sit out since then. Now, he did get playing time against Hutchinson last week and even started the game, but they pulled him out after the first drive. He just wasn't ready to go. I believe we're going to sit him today. It looks like the starting quarterback will be Amarion Bartlett. But another quarterback that has also filled in and taken similar snaps to Amarion Bartlett is Justin Silverstein, who was the scout team quarterback, a walk-on quarterback for Iowa Central this past year when Byron Jarrett was the leader and Zach Marker was the backup guy. This guy came in wanting to play football for the Iowa Central Tritons, and by the way, he didn't have to. He was a star baseball player. He actually had a full-ride scholarship to Western Kentucky to play shortstop. Yeah, Western Kentucky, and we know Kentucky is one of the best states in all of America to produce fantastic baseball level talent, especially at the collegiate level. Kentucky, Western Kentucky. So he's a very dynamic quarterback. And when I learned that earlier this week, you know, that makes sense because he throws a very similar ball as to what a shortstop looks like throwing a baseball. So that makes sense. It's kind of like a higher release, a lot of work in his elbow, as you'll probably get to see that later on today if he gets subbed in, which you can possibly expect because since the injury to Zach Marker, we've been running a dual quarterback kind of system, but Amarion Bartlett has been the main starter. Also, another quarterback that has been in the rotation that has played all 4 games, starting today anyway, for the Iowa Central Tritons, John Holcomb, who is primarily a flex player who is subbed in as a tailback, a wide receiver, a blocking back, and even a tight end. He formerly was a 4-star recruit that went to play for Kansas State back in 2019. He took some time off of football once the pandemic hit, and then the Iowa Central Tritons grabbed him off the waiver wire, and he came here to play football for us. But he's been, like I said, more of a flex player. But he's the only guy in that quarterback room out of all 4 quarterbacks that will be playing all 4 games, taking a snap at quarterback. That's as if he takes a snap today. But anyway, that's our quarterback situation. Bartlett will get the start. Starting tailback is the third-year stud, Jaden Washington. I cannot wait to see this guy put on the burners. This third-year player was a first-team All-American his freshman year. He had tore an ACL against Iowa Western late in the season. Didn't get to play much his second year, but he's back for his third year as he got relief from the COVID pandemic year, so that's awesome. Our starting receivers for the top three guys, our X receiver will be Desno Washington. Our Y receiver will be Travis Isaac. And then lined up in the slot, you can expect Cal Weideman, who also gets some snaps, possibly at fullback and blocking back. Cal Weideman, very dynamic player. Tight end will be Colton Hogg. And then when we take a look at the offensive line unit, Jack Welty will be the starting left tackle. Reese Steele, the left guard. Elijah Heatherston, the starting center. Noah Howard, the starting right guard. And Ashton Travis, the starting right tackle. I'll announce the starting defense once we get to that point. Otherwise, Ellsworth is going to line up to kick. That means they will receive the kickoff in the second half, and the Iowa Central Tritons will stand tall here. Let's go, baby blue. It's time for IC3 to take the stage. 15 minutes are on the clock. Jamarion Wheeler, I see, is back deep for the Iowa Central Tritons, and here comes the kick from the Ellsworth Panther starting kicker. That's going to be kicked up. It's pooched over towards the 20-yard line, and it will be returned. Making ways out towards the 30 to the 35, trying to break outside. It was Isaiah Hazlitt who was on the return, who had a lot of starting time last year. It'll be exciting to see if he'll try to get back into this and try to win back a starting position. Isaiah Hazlitt returns it to the 36-yard line officially. It's a 1st and 10. Ball marked on the 36. 14 minutes and 56 seconds remain in quarter number 1. We're in beautiful Fort Dodge, Iowa today, towards the suburb region. I love Dodger Stadium. I brought this up before, how it's in such a cool place rather than the countryside. But here we go. First play of the ball game. Bartlett is back to pass in the gun. He'll fire over towards Wheeler, who will snag the catch. It's going to be a pickup of 5. Here's a 2nd and 5. The ball now going to be on the 41. Okay, I like it. Start off just with the quick pass game. Keep Ellsworth on their toes. Not really know what they expect. Ellsworth starting off with a 4-3 front for their defensive side, but here comes some pressure. No deep safety over the middle as their cornerbacks are lined up in a dime package. Man-to-man call. Here we go now. Swung out. That was towards Desna Washington. Bartlett tried to hit Washington on a wide receiver screen. It looked like he slipped. Now, the field is turf, but that's going to be something that we'll have to look out for. Like I said, it rained last night and rained this morning, and I think it even might have rained earlier this week too. So the field, it could be a little more slippery because of the wetness, the dampness out on the field, so expect that if that happens once again. 3rd and 5, repeat of the down. 14 minutes to go in quarter number 1. Bartlett's back to pass, but they will call the play dead. Flags all over the place. It looks like a false start on the offense, I think. Might have been Howard that time. That's what the defensive line unit from Ellsworth was shouting out, by the way, anyway. Not for sure, though. They do bring the ball back. While they're talking it over, I want to give a big shout-out to the Iowa Central coaching staff, which does such a great job. Shout-out to the head football coach, Jesse Montalto, our offensive coordinator, Coach Minicu, the defensive coordinator, Coach Conley, the special teams and outside linebacker coach, Coach Mann, Coach Clegg on the offensive line, Coach Blomberg as the tight ends coach, as well as an assistant offensive line coach, Coach Young as a defensive backs coach, Bailey Donovan as the inside linebacker coach. Those are them Sharks, baby. And then Lucas Brown as the new running back coach this year. Here's 3rd down and long. 3rd and 10. Bartlett fires over towards Wheeler. Almost ended up in the hands of Desna Washington. From what I saw it was intended to be a deep in route for Wheeler, but the ball just kind of ended up in Desna Washington's hands. Now that'll bring up a 4th down for the Iowa Central Tritons. 13 minutes and 40 seconds remain. Don't want to start off with a 3-and-out against a rivalry team. Like I said, you got to keep your foot on the pedal all day long. These rivalry games are serious. Lining up to punt it. Ellsworth going to send out number 5 back there, their receiver, Demarius Clark-Tate, who's a two-way player and spent some time as a defensive back on special teams, if needed. The kick is up towards the 25. It'll take a big bounce. Oh, and they're saying he touched it. Well, I don't know. I heard he touched it. Maybe the Triton fans are just really loud and proud today. I was going to say, I don't think so, but there you go. Ellsworth, they're going to start with a 1st and 10. Ball going to be marked on their own 19-yard line. As you can see on the video stream, they'll be moving the football from left to right on your digital dial. 13.5 minutes remain in quarter number 1. We got 15 minutes a quarter. And coming out now for Ellsworth is their starting quarterback, Josh Bauer. He's a sophomore we got to see last year. He spent some time punting the football even last year. Their first pass will be a swing pass, swinging outside for a tight end. Went complete, but was it enough for a first down? Close. Looks like they're moving it. They are moving the chains. First down on the first play. Nice start off a swing pass. 1st and 10 for Ellsworth. Shotgun formation, doubles on each side, and they'll send a man in motion. Quarterback keeper with Josh Bauer, and he'll be wrapped right up by Noah Epley. Join alongside him, I saw Lawan Miller starting at middle linebacker today. Lawan Miller's filling in at middle linebacker today for the fantastic linebacker, Dakari Randall, who will be out with an injury. Also another injured player that starts for the Iowa Central Tritons, J.T. Brown, who will also be out today. So I'll give you the starting lineups for the defense in just a moment. Swing pass, going to break one tackle, and he's still rumbling down the sideline. That's the big 8'9", making his way towards the other side of the field. It's Mason Wallart, the tight end. Elijah Graham with the stop that time, I heard from Brownie. It's a 1st and 10 on back-to-back plays. Tritons starting off slow. 12.5 minutes remain as they're going to come out in a 3-man front this time with 4 backers crashing. Back to passes Bauer. He's looking long. He's going to have to step up. The pocket collapsed, and look who got there in time. Big Noah Epley sending him down. Big fella. That's a loss of 3 on the sack. 2nd and 13. The ball is going to be now marked on the 49-yard line on the Ellsworth side. So right when you think you cross the 50-yard marker, hold on a minute. Don't think too fast. Trips out towards the near side for us and Bauer. He's going to be back to pass. A lone receiver looking downfield. Bauer is looking. He will fire downfield to the open man, and he caught it. And off the 4th play of the game for their starting offensive drive, it's a touchdown off a deep post route. 51 yards sent all the way down to numero uno, Malcolm Gilly. And just like that, 6-0 early, the away team coming in from Iowa Falls, Iowa. Just like I said, got to be on your toes. These guys have bad blood against the Baby Blue. Here comes the PAT try now. Waiting for this PAT try. The snap is down. Held well, and it's up, and it is good. 7-0 early, 11 minutes and 15 seconds remain in the rest of the first quarter. While we get there, I'm going to announce the starting defensive lineup for today. Starting with the defensive line, our right end today will be Blake Whaley, defensive tackle Cody Schmidt, and on our other side, the left side of the defensive line, Deontay Bryant. Playing buck today, which is a hybrid of a defensive lineman as well as a linebacker. That's Rex Van Wy. For our strong side linebacker, Noah Epley, Lawan Miller at middle linebacker, Demetrius Walker at weak side linebacker, Tony Brodnox, number 8, going to be starting on the right side for cornerback, and Kevontae Fowler, who gave up the last touchdown, he'll be starting on the left side. Our free safety and strong safety today is Jacob Camacho and Elijah Graham. 11 minutes and 13 seconds exactly remain as it just took 4 plays and 2 minutes and 17 seconds for Ellsworth to score. 3 of those plays went for longer than 10 yards at least. The only play that didn't was that short sack that only lost them 3 yards. But you know, on that very next play, Ellsworth was ready. A great ball from Josh Bauer. As Ellsworth just burned us. We weren't on our toes. Let's see how we'll capitalize on offense now. Big rebound here. Iowa Central Tritons looking like they're going to return it now. Is he going to make it up towards the 30-yard line? Moving forward, he'll be tackled out of bounds by the double three. That's Sam Freund who makes the tackle. The return man that time for the Iowa Central Tritons was George Sims out of Racine, Wisconsin. Another reason why this game is so huge is depending on who wins this game, more than likely they're going to get those local kids recruited to their own hometown school. So Central Iowa kids are here. They're taking note that are playing high school football or even thinking about going back to the NJCAA. And if this is what's persuading them, who's better between Ellsworth and Iowa Central, the two local teams that they grew up around? Well, so far, I'm choosing Ellsworth. They're starting a lot more hotter against the Tritons, who had a 3-and-out their first go-around. Bartlett's out there. He tried a quarterback keeper. He lost 2. 2nd and 12. Ball is now on the 33-yard line with 10 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the ball game. If you just joined us, you're tuned into Triton Nation's coverage of Rivalry Week. The Tritons of Iowa Central taking on the Ellsworth Panthers. This is Hank Ambrose on call, and I'll be with you the rest of the day. Bartlett's back to pass. Pressure. He's going to have to let it fly. Weideman tried to bring it in. Now that's a tough call. Luckily, it hit off the backside of that linebacker who went down to cover Cal Weideman. But that linebacker, number 3 for them, who was Kamari Wilson, he came back and he wasn't looking at the ball. Now, if there was more contact and a shove down towards Cal Weideman, you could have easily called that as defensive pass interference. You got to be looking at the ball, otherwise you'll get called for that all day. That time, he's lucky that the ball hit him before he made contact. Empty set, they're going to send George Sims in motion. Back to pass. Sims is going to get the ball off a short little flat route. He'll move forward about 10 yards, just shy of the first down marker unless they give him enough, but I think it's short. I think his helmet might have crossed, but not that ball. That's what they would have needed. It's 4th and 1. The ball is on the 44-yard line on the Triton side. 10 minutes and 15 seconds remain. I've only seen one run play so far for the Iowa Central Tritons. It was a design quarterback run. Coming in now is Wilton, who's the backup, Walter Wilton, who has been very impressive early. Here's a heavy pistol set, handoff to George Sims, who's going to try to break free. He does, and he's still on his feet. He's moving, hits the spin move, and it takes a man to jump on his back to get him down. That is the very first Iowa Central Triton first down. 7-0. Ellsworth may still have it, but the Tritons are warming up the pan. In the gun, handoff to Wilton. Wilton's coming down. He breaks one tackle before they call the play dead. Hang on. 9 minutes, 32 seconds remaining. I missed what the flag could have been. I feel like they called it before the play even was snapped. Maybe a false start on the offense. Looks like they're moving them back. It is a false start on the offense. That's the second time that has happened this game, and we're only within the first 2 drives still. The Iowa Central Tritons, maybe they're still sleepy. Got to wake it up here. 1st and 15, the ball is on the 49-yard line on the Ellsworth side. Bartlett is out there. Wilbin is right by his side, and Sims is lined up as a wingback. It's going to be a fake, a play-action pass. It got me going long as Bartlett all the way down to Washington, and he caught it. He's moving forward. That's a pickup of at least 45 inside the 5-yard line. Is big Desna Washington. 7-0, but the Tritons are coming back in this thing. Is Destin Washington, who is your returning wide receiver number 1. He was also an All-American for the Iowa Central Tritons a season ago. He was tied for first in the NJCAA with receiving touchdowns last year with a total of 10 in the regular season. 7-0, 8 minutes, 50 seconds remain. Bartlett fires to a wide-open Washington, and he stood lonesome in the central top of the end zone, but the pass was a little high. Tried to use his one hand to snag it that time, but they'll just call that dead. It was batted down. 2nd and goal. Ball's on the 5-yard line. 8 minutes and 37 seconds remaining. Now looky here. I see they're going to send in another blocking back and another tight end in the set. There goes Colton Hogue. So he's going to line up on the weak side. In the pistol here, Jamarian Wheeler in the slot. Going to be a handoff to Wilbin. Walter Wilbin trying to make his way forward. He dances inside the 5. It looks like he would have picked up maybe 1 or 2 yards. See what they give him. It will be 3rd and goal. So it was a pickup of 1. 3rd and goal. Iowa Central Tritons have been dominant inside the 5-yard line. Oh, and they're coming out with an empty set now. Here comes a man in motion. Running out there. It's a pass. Hogue in the corner of the end zone just above his hands. Incomplete pass for the 2nd time inside the 5. It's 4th and goal. Shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. That's what you got to be thinking right now if you're Coach Montalto and his men on the sideline. It's 4th and goal, and let's see what they do. Looks like they will send out Liam Wahey to kick. Ellsworth leads at 7-0 before the field goal try, which will be for about 20 yards. And kick is right through the upright. It's good. 7-3 early. Ellsworth keeps the lead, but the Tritons answer back with a field goal. But now they're going to have to go back out on defense and stop them. Last time it just took them 4 plays to march downfield and throw in a 51-yard streak route to Malcolm Gilly, but we got to see what the defense can do now. I know we got some defensive starters out, but this is their time to step up in rivalry week. And there's that band, loud and proud. As you can see out there, look at that attendance. It is packed out here for Iowa Central. And Ellsworth has a lot of fans on their side too, which is the side we're broadcasting from. 7 minutes, 57 seconds remain. And Wahey will go back out there to do the kickoff. 7-3. Back there to return, Erastus Encino. So I also see DeMiles Clark back there. The ball is kicked towards Clark, who'll field it near the 10. He'll move it up to the 20 at least, 25. He's trying to find a hole. He does. He bounces outside, and he's still on his feet. Wrapping him up that time was the free safety, Jacob Camacho. Camacho is textbook form tackler. Someday he's going to be a great coach, teaching kids young at the Pee-wee level and hopefully up at the high school level one day even as well. 7-3, 7 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. Here comes Bauer and his boys. They're going to line up in the pistol for the first time today. They got trips on Bauer's weak side. That's the far side of the broadcast, and here come the Panthers. They'll start off with a handoff. It's going to go for about 3-4 yards. 2nd and 6 officially. The ball is now going to be marked on the 42-yard line. Panthers are rolling left to right on your video screen. There we go. 2nd and 6. Bauer in the gun. He's back to pass. He'll fire short, but no one is looking for it. Jacob Camacho was, and if he was 5 feet in front of to where he started, he would have picked that off and took it to the house. 3rd and goal now, or 3rd and goal, 3rd and 6 now. Triton Nation calling for defense. Ramping up our boys. Showing a 5 defensive line set. Epley is rushing in the mix. Stepping up to run is Bauer. Bauer runs forward. It's going to be close to a first down. I think he was just short. Oh, man, I don't know. They're moving the chains. They want this game to keep on moving forward, I guess. I would have said that's about close enough to check it. And, Bauer is down, and they're going to have to sub him out for a play, it looks like. So he took a shot to the back of his hip. So in comes the backup quarterback, number 10, Isaac Weinson. Weinsen has not taken a single snap yet this year. It's been all Bauer. And Bauer, he's been successful here early, so hopefully he's okay to play the rest of the ball game. Trips on the far side, a lone receiver decked on his right. Back to pass Weinsen. Here comes a pressure, and his first collegiate play. He gets ripped up by Big 3-1. You know who that is. Holy moly, Rex Van Wy. The Buck bucks him down and causes a fumble. Welcome to college football. Oh, wow. 3-7, and it's a turnover off a fumble. And that's a tough spot to start in for a freshman quarterback. First play, college drop back, and big hit from one of the best hitters in the Jayhawk Conference or the ICAC Conference season. And, oh, look at here. A new quarterback is in. It's Justin Silverstein, the walk-on we were talking about earlier. He will hand off a halfback stretch, and he's moving forward. Going to be a big pickup. It's been our most productive run of the ball game. Now, it wasn't Washington. That was Murray on the carry. Casey Murray on the carry for the Iowa Central Tritons. So I have not yet seen Jaden Washington today. Maybe had an issue heading into practice or didn't feel right to go right away. But I saw it was Wilbin, who took the starting reps. Here goes Murray now. Holy smokes, Jason Murray. Back-to-back run plays for him off that strong side, and they're making men hit the ground. That's the right side of the offensive line for you for the center, Elijah Heatherston, Noah Howard, and Ashton Travis that made that big lane for Murray to go forward. Play action pass, Silverstein fires over the middle of the field, and he's got a touchdown as that was sent right down to Isaiah Hazlitt, who was wide receiver 2 last year, coming in this game, also starting in the Y. 9-7, and the Tritons have taken the lead right back. 5 minutes and 40 seconds remain. Oh, yeah. That cheerleader side, they do such a great job over there. I'm going to mark that down for about a 20-yard touchdown catch. Down to Hazlitt. And the extra point by Wahey is good. 10-7, 5 minutes and 40 seconds remain as we got a lot of football to be played. Don't go anywhere. This is Triton Football on Triton Nation's YouTube channel. The Iowa Central Tritons have started back up. Like I said, they started just a little slow here early on in the ball game on defense and offense, but it just takes a kickstart sometimes, a jump start to get them going. It looks like that's been the start here, 10-7. 5 minutes, 40 seconds remaining, and here come the Tritons. And their second kickoff, they have Wahey as the kickoff man. Back deep to return for Ellsworth will be the same two we saw earlier, Erastus Antisno and DeMiles Clark. And Clark will field it near the 20. He moves it forward. He broke 2 tackles last time. He's going to change fields. He's got the feet to keep him going, making his way outside near the 50-yard line. Holy, these guys are quick. Clark has wheels. All 3 kickoffs have been sent towards Clark's way, and I think after his first 2 returns, we're going to have to say, let's return it, or let's have him return it from the other side. How about? That kid is too fast. 10-7, 5 minutes and 32 seconds remain in quarter number 1. If you just joined us, I'm Hank Ambrose with you today for Triton Nation's YouTube channel. In the gun, trips on the near side, and Josh Bowers back out there to play Q for the Panthers. Pressure, jumping on the ball. Are they going to call fumble? Hang on. Are they going to call fumble? Triton saying they have it. It all depends if they're going to say if his arm went forward. If his arm went forward, it's an incomplete pass. Either way, one side is going to be really mad about this call. It could go either way. The refs are going to have to just talk it over. 10-7, Tritons lead it. 5 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in the first quarter. So they're still talking it over. I don't know. The ball landed forward, but I didn't see his wrist flick.
The play was ruled a fumble. The play is under review.
Well, okay, interesting call. So they say the play is ruled a fumble and the play is under review. I know we got our own replay back there in our broadcast situation, but for them, they don't have a monitor out there to check that out. So I guess it's just going to take extra talking. Now, if you don't have substantial evidence to change a ruling on the field, then you can't change it. You can't overturn it. So to me, what I feel like is they're going to just have to keep it. It's going to be Triton football, I believe, on the 47-yard line on the Ellsworth side. Ellsworth going to have to eat back-to-back fumbles from their quarterbacks. And they're still going over there and meeting right where the ball is placed. And you got to think that there's not enough ruling or knowing if it's a fumble or incomplete pass. And since the original call was a fumble by the left side judge on the left side of the field, I think you got to keep it. And that is me trying to be as not biased as possible. Being biased, I'd say the same thing, of course, but 5:25, 10-7, and the band is going wild. Keeping the energy up here, that's good, as we got a stall here in the action. Still waiting for the refs to make the ruling on the field. And I heard the Ellsworth side out of my left ear. Incomplete pass, and the other side ruling a fumble. That's the Triton side. Either side is going to be pretty upset. Ooh. Be tough to call here. Well, they're talking for some time. This is an extended break. I'll tell you what, taking a look at the rest of the Triton schedule, they'll be home next week against DuPage, and that's actually going to be their homecoming game, so you're going to want to come out to Dodger Stadium for that. If you can't make it live, we'll broadcast it right here as well on Triton Nation's YouTube channel. Then they'll hit the road for 2 more weeks at Coffeyville Community College, then Butler Community College. Then they'll be back in Fort Dodge against Dodge City, and then Iowa Western at the end of October. Or they will then end out their regular season on the road against Highland. Further review. Wow. They're saying after further review, the quarterback's arm went further. So with an extra eye on the field, I guess what they're going to just determine is, I don't know. I really don't know what you can do in that situation, not being able to look at the replay from a ref standpoint. I guess you got to just take a head count and see what the other line judges saw. But regardless, it's Ellsworth football, 2nd and 10. Bouncing outside and wrapped up by Demetrius Walker. Tackle for loss for about 5. That was David Hall, who was on the carry that time, who got wrapped up by Demetrius Walker. This is Walker's first year starting for the Iowa Central Tritons. He's been a really exciting linebacker. He's a guy that I really want to keep around for next season. Under 5 minutes to play, and the clock is ticking. It's 10-7. Tritons lead it. 3rd and 18. Ball on the 42-yard line on the Ellsworth side. Shotgun formation. They got doubles on each side as well. Bowers back to pass. He's looking long. He'll fire it, as that one is going to go nowhere. Intended receiver that time, I believe, was the tight end, 89, who is listed as 88, Mason Walhart. It could have been intended for Malcolm Gilly, who had the touchdown catch earlier, too. It looked like that was off of the quarterback hand. Bauer appears to be okay. I haven't noticed him holding at his hip or his back at all, so that's good to see him back and ready in action. So here comes the punting unit for the first time today on the Ellsworth side. As Ellsworth is going to start with a 3-and-out. Big punt, arching high in the sky. Hazlitt on the return. He makes 2 miss, but the third guy gets there. He's still on his feet, but he moves backwards. Sometimes in that situation, you just want to go down, but hey, I got to love the fight that Hazlitt has. The ball is going to be marked on the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 for IC3. Once again, shout out to our crew today for Triton Nation. Donnie and Derek running the camera, and Rusty back in the trailer producing the broadcast for you today. If you just joined us, I'm Hank Yambros on call for Triton Nation. I'll be with you the rest of today. 1st and 10, 4:26 remaining in the first quarter. Silverstein is back to pass. He'll roll out to his right. He will fire over the middle of the field to Washington, and it's, I was thinking it was picked off. Nearly was. Nashawn Johnson, the freshman defensive back, was there to swat it down. And you can tell after the reaction that Nashawn Johnson made, he wanted that one. He very well could have. That ball maybe was just left in the air a little too long. I like what they did there. They haven't started a drive yet where they tried to take a shot deep on their first play, where they did it right there, but Ellsworth, they were ready. 2nd and 10, 10-7, 4:20 remains in the first quarter. Pistol formation. Hogue is in the set as a blocking back. Here we go now, swinging it outside and trying to return it up for about 5 yards. Travis Isaac is the receiver on the play. 4 minutes and 5 seconds remain. It's 10-7. 3rd and 5. Ball is on the 25-yard line for the Tritons. Doubles on the near side of your video screen. Tritons are in the pistol. Handoff to Wilton. He's going to be, actually that's Washington that time. That's the first snap I've seen him in today. He'll be swallowed up on the inside of the line. It's going to be a 4th and 5, and it looks like the punting team is going to come out. 3.5 minutes remain. It's 10-7. Punting for Iowa Central. Well, I actually don't have his number written down. I'm going to have to go and check my sheet here, my backup sheet. Logan Williams. There you go. Logan Williams, the punter for the Tritons. Williams gets it up. It'll cross the 50, bounce near the 40. It's still rolling out towards the 35-yard line, where Ellsworth will start over on their own side. Well, each team has struggled on offense early here. We've seen a handful of 3-and-outs, and the plays that have scored have been off of long touchdown passes or ripping off a few runs to the outside for the Iowa Central Tritons. I don't think anyone really has the momentum yet in this ball game, but Ellsworth can certainly take it here. They're only down by 3. 10-7, Tritons lead it with 2:50 remaining in the game. Handoff, fumble, that's a fumble. Deontay Bryant jumps on it, and look at that. He did it again. Van Wy, oh my goodness. Second forced fumble of the day for Rex Van Wy. Rex Van Wy with 2 forced fumbles. And we're still in the first quarter. That time Deontay Bryant picked it up. And that also means 3 fumbles on the Ellsworth side. That time it was off of their starting halfback, David Hall. Wow. All right, here come the Tritons with 2:48 remaining in the first quarter. They're going to start on the 29-yard line on the Ellsworth side. Silverstein's back to pass. He'll roll to his left. He sees Washington, but he won't chuck it until he finds him a little more open, which he will then fire down to number 13 for the Iowa Central Tritons, Brian Davis. And just like that, that's another Triton first down. Nice pickup right there. That's going to take him down near the 15. Ball marked on the 16-yard line. So pick up a 13. 2.5 minutes remain. 1st and 10, ball on the 16. Tritons in the red zone. They'll fire a swing pass to Washington. He gets 2 blocks. He's still on his feet. He's still moving, trying to lunge forward to get there. That offensive line unit once again did a fantastic job, not just on the right side, but also the left side. The right guy, the guys on the left side pulled, moved forward. The guys on the right side went straight downfield to try to make their men miss. It's a 1st and goal now, ball on the 2-yard line. That was a pickup of 11. Coming in now is Walter Wilbin, looking for a rushing touchdown. Got doubles on the weak side. They're going to send Weideman on the weak side in motion with Hogue. Handoff to Wilton as he'll get blasted. Great hit stick that time over there on the Ellsworth side by 37. That's Marker Cabrera who made the tackle for loss. 2nd and goal now. Ball is on the 4-yard line. Loss of 2. A minute and 20 seconds remain. 2nd and goal. It's 10-7. Silverstein stands in the gun. Hand off to Wilton. They're trying an inside zone. That time might have been another tackle for loss, or at least a gain of nothing, right? That's what I'm thinking. That time the stop was made by Frank Ream, an edge rusher. 50 seconds remain in the 1st quarter. It's been all defense so far. It's 10-7. Tritons are inside the 5, trying to punch it in. 3rd and goal. There they go, sending Davis in motion. Now, oh wow, look at this, look at this. Crazy. 4 or 5 different motions before they hand off. No, a fake. RPO read down to Cal Weideman, who will score. Cal Weideman on a 5-yard RPO read off of 5 different directional motions. And that one just threw Ellsworth for a loop. By the time that they got the ball off, Cal Weideman was wide open, just a foot away from reaching the end zone. That's another Triton touchdown. 16-7 early. Here comes the PAT. Here's the kick. It's up, and it is good. 28 seconds remain in quarter number 1. Wow, 17-7. Now the Tritons still, despite their earlier drives this game, most of their drives just came off of 1 or 2 big plays. Now I would love to see a drive heading into the 2nd quarter or the rest of the ball game where they go to more of a game plan structured set where they can just pick up about 5 first downs in a drive without relying on a big play. Now that's great, I'll take it. I won't complain about it, but structured going forward, it'll be more impressive looking forward to those structured first down sets. 17-7, 28 seconds remain in quarter number 1. Back there to return for Ellsworth is DeMiles Clark Tate, who I believe we don't want to kick to. We've noticed that on the first 2 kickoffs. And the other man is Estradas Antizno. Here's Liam Wahey going for the kickoff, and boom! It's going to be back there, and it does get fielded in by Clark, who's going to move it towards the 30-yard line. That time he's wrapped up by the big 4-3 on the Triton side. Nice job getting there. There's a penalty marker on the play. The guy that made the tackle was Branson Peters, a linebacker out of Mason City, Iowa. So there you go. You talk about semi-local kids around the central Iowa area or even the north central part of Iowa. It's a kid you want to win after getting a victory today, whether you're Ellsworth or Iowa Central. It's offsides on the kicking team. They're just going to award him another 5 yards from the spot of where he was tackled. So they will start officially on the 34 now. 34-yard line on the Ellsworth side. There's 23 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter. This is already the 5th drive for Ellsworth. Wow, and wrapped up by Jacob Camacho as he's going to cause a disruption. Incomplete pass. 17-7, the clock is stopped with 20 seconds to play in the first quarter. Got to call the Fort Dodge Dodgers last night as their game went so quick that they only had 3 offensive drives in the entire first half. There are already 5 drives right here for Ellsworth and the Tritons as we're still in the first quarter. Tritons will have their 6th offensive drive the next time they touch the ball. 3rd and 10 as the pass lands incomplete. The intended receiver that time was 38. I believe that one was a backup running back in Marcus Cranshaw. It's Cranshaw. Yep, it was. Trying to haul that one in. He couldn't get his feet in bounds. Here we go. Doubles on each side. There's a back in the gun. Bowers back to pass. He'll fire over the middle of the field, and they will throw the flag. You can expect a defensive pass interference that time. I think it's called against Camacho, and that's tough. Camacho with a shove down. So we saw a pass interference earlier. Here's a second of the ball game. It was called on Camacho. That is a stinker. Had a situation where it could have been a 3-and-out, give up the 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. The ball is now on the 49-yard line on the Ellsworth side. 1st and 10, 11 seconds remain in the first quarter. Bowers in the gun with doubles. Handing off. That time to Hall. He's going to break forward for, they might give him 1, if anything. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to close out the first quarter. 17-7, the Iowa Central Tritons have the lead. I'm going to break down the scores that I've seen so far. The Iowa Central Tritons started off slow on offense. Now, Ellsworth, they started hot on offense, but then cooled down towards the rest of the quarter. The only scores we saw from Ellsworth was a 51-yard receiving touchdown from Malcolm Gilly. He ran a streak route and just burned our guys. It was the first drive of the ball game for Ellsworth, and it was right over top of us. We just simply got burned. The Iowa Central Tritons, though, have scored 17 points unanswered. Their first score was off of about a 20-yard field goal from Liam Wahey. Then Silverstein was subbed in replace for Amarion Bartlett, where he hit Isaiah Hazlitt for about 20 yards. That was inside the red zone. And then we saw another touchdown off an RPO read inside the 5-yard line from Cal Weideman. Silverstein hit him on a 5-yard pass, little out route. Now on the play, really interesting. I would say a trick play. I mean, they put about 5 or 6 guys in motion. And me alone, I was trying to keep track of everyone that was moving, but, I mean, that was near impossible. I couldn't imagine being a linebacker for Ellsworth on that play. It's 17-7. The first quarter just got through. 15 minutes on the clock for the rest of the half. Bauer is back to pass. He'll sling it outside for Cranshaw. Cranshaw is wrapped up near the line of scrimmage, and there is that Blue Sea. Bringing him back. And there's a shove after the play is called dead. Looks like the flag won't come out, but we got to look out for that. Like I say, these rivalry teams, they hate each other, but you still have to play fundamental football and not give up those personal fouls. And depending on how the refs play today, they can easily call those for personal fouls or unnecessary roughness, as we saw some extra contact after the play was called, after the whistle blew. 17-7, 14 minutes and 15 seconds to play. Bauer is in the gun. There's 3 trips stacked on top of each other on the weak side. Firing over the middle, he's open. Oh, that would have been a fantastic catch. He landed on his hip. And that was their tight end again. He's been very impressive early, just hasn't got anything to go his way when it has came to catching it, but he's gotten 3 targets early. That was Mason Walhart on the target. It would have been a pickup of over 20 yards. Put it on a really good spot. Walhart jumped high in the air. Just got to hold it on. Hold on to that ball. Here's a punt now as it's kicked up over towards It looks like Hazlitt with the return. Breaks 2, 3, 4, 5. He's still on his feet. Oh, they get a hold of his jersey. And you can see his shoulder pad is showing. I'm assuming it's on the tackle, right? I'd say it'd have to be. A horse collar of some sort. I mean, that seemed to be all jersey on that last tackle. Let's see what they call here. Could be a hold, 2 or block in the back on the offensive side. I didn't see anything like that, but first thing I noticed was the way he tackled him. Now, you can grab the jersey like that, but if you're too high, if you grab towards the collar, then that's a horse collar. It doesn't matter if you don't get any pads. So we're still waiting on the call from the refs. They might have just picked up the flag. Let's see here. Holding number 4 on the receiving team. So we won't call that against Ellsworth. Wow, I was thinking a horse collar even to offset the penalty, but no. So it'll be a 1st and 10. That's going to back up the Tritons in their own end zone. See where they put them officially. Looks like it's going to be inside the 15 at least. Might even be inside the 10. 1st and 10. Ball is on the 12-yard line. 13 minutes and 55 seconds remain. 17-7. Tritons have the lead. In the gun is Silverstein. Also see Hogue in there as a blocking back. They'll fire. Nice attempt that time. That one intended to Brian Davis, and it just went a little over his head. I think that time it wasn't an inaccurate pass, but that it was just a miscommunication. Is Brian Davis wasn't looking at the ball when it was coming in his way. That's something they'll have to talk about later on. Here we go. In the pistol. Hogue is in as a blocking back. They got 2 wide receivers spread out towards the weak side of Silverstein. He's going to have to evade the pocket as he will fire out to Brian Davis. It hits him in the hands, but he can't hold on to it. 3rd and 10 inside their own 15-yard line. This is a tough spot for the Iowa Central Tritons. 13 minutes and 45 seconds remain in the rest of the first half. So far today, I've accounted for 4 4-and-outs total for each sides. For total of the sides. Pistol formation, trips on the near side. Tritons trying to march from left to right. There's also a lone receiver on the far left. Sending a swing over there. They will go with a screen. Running at that time, Wheeler. He's trying to make his way up the field, but he'll be brought back from Ellsworth. Ripping him out of bounds. It's going to be a 4th down and long. Near their own 10-yard line, here comes the punt unit. (17-7), 13 minutes and 20 seconds remain. If you just joined us, you're tuned in to Triton Football on Triton Nation's YouTube channel. I'm Hank Ambrose. I'll be with you the rest of today. The weather right now still is cloudy outside. The wind has died even more. It hasn't really been windy at all, but I think it's died even more as it's blowing into the north. Darius Jackson is back deep to return for Ellsworth. Here goes Logan Williams, the punter for the Tritons. He's standing on the 2-yard line. He kicks it. Nice kick over towards the 40 to the 35-30, and they got 3 Tritons right there to return, and he's going to break free of all of them. The kid has wheels, I'm telling you. That's the Miles Clark again on the return. Now, we really have to find a way to kick away from him because he is averaging about 25 yards a return, whether it's from a kickoff or a punt. He knows what he's doing back there. Here's the 6th drive of the ball game now. As we're still in the first half, we just began the second quarter. As I'm already going to run out of paper room on my first half sheet. Bauer is going to come out in a Cadillac set with 2 running backs each at his hip. There's also doubles on the weak side and another lone receiver on the far. Bauer steps up. He'll take it for himself, it looks like. No, he will fire right on the line. That one could have been called for a pass interference. You know, we might have got lucky that time. What they're saying there is the pass was not catchable, which is a great call by the refs. I take that back. I don't want to say we got lucky that time. If Bauer put it right where he needed to be, that could have easily been defensive pass interference, because just like that call that was implemented not too long ago, if you're not looking at the ball and if you use your hand to push down the receiver, the intended receiver, you will be called. Here we go, Cadillac formation. Bauer's going to sit out this play. It looks like they have a 3-back set back there, as they don't have that backup quarterback in right now, who's Isaac Weinzid. And they're just going to have Bauer come back in. False start on the offense, number 79. That's against Caden Bricker, the starting right tackle. 2nd and 15, ball on the 41-yard line of the Ellsworth side. Tritons are showing a 3-safety look with Camacho as the deep safety. Here's Bauer back to pass. He's got trips to his left. He will fire an out route as it will be defended. There's that flag. There's that flag. Very similar to what happened a moment ago. Now he shoved him to the ground before the ball got there. He eventually made a play on it, but you can probably expect another defensive pass interference. The Tritons have been their biggest enemy on defense. Yep. Number 5 against the defense on the Iowa Central Tritons side. That's against Jalen Calistine. He's a 3rd flex safety who plays a lot as a hybrid linebacker as well in the rotation. Well, that was one of his first plays. I've took a note of him in the ball game, and just going to give it up that time. In the gun, trips on the weak side. There's a lone receiver on the far right as well for Bauer. Back to pass. He's looking left. He'll fire to a short in route. Camacho can't wrap up, but luckily we had, is that Rex? No. That's the double 9 for the Iowa Central Tritons coming in to make that tackle. Williams in on the tackle. It was actually a freshman. Heavily recruited by the Tritons. Comes from Texas. Back to pass, firing to an out route. Oh, look at that. I haven't seen that before. There are a few chuckles in the crowd over here. Nice grab, nice catch that time, as that was by that fantastic return man again that plays both ways. And DeMiles Clark Tate fell right on his bottom right away, though, leaning forward. 1st and 10, looking in the red zone for the Panthers. 11.5 minutes remain in the first half. 2nd and 10 after the ball goes incomplete. Had some pressure that time, sent in by Perry Slater. Bauer's going to go over and take a check with his head coach. You know, the offense for Ellsworth has gotten good looks for their receiver standpoint, and multiple times have drawn really good penalties. But now it's about this execution. Trips on the weak side, firing to the end zone. He's got him. Oh, great hand. Great defensive coverage by number 8 that time on the Iowa Central Tri. That's Tony Brodnox, who got the start today at starting cornerback. Brodnox on a big defensive play. That was a very nice ball, too. They will take an official's timeout. Injured player. Uh-oh. Saw that one. 17-7. Big 77 going to have to come out as he's losing his lunch. Uh-oh. Help him out. Help him out. 17-7. 11:25 remains. And sometimes you just take a shot right to the belly, and that's what happens. Well, we'd rather see that than broken bones or broken anything like that. But they'll clean up the ball, clean up the field, and we'll get back to play right after this in a little bit here. If you just joined us, you're tuned into Triton Nation's coverage of Iowa Central football. Got Donnie, got Derek running the camera for us today. Rusty back there in the trailer producing for us. Thank you guys for helping us out. And if you just joined us, I'm Hank Ambrose on call for the Iowa Central Tritons the rest of today. Tritons trying to move to 3-1 on the season. Ellsworth trying to pick up their first win. They're coming to this one 0-2. Shotgun formation, doubles on each side. Back to pass. Firing over the middle. Picked off! Picked off by 2-7. That's Elijah Graham, the strong safety. Elijah Graham. Elijah Graham picks it off on the 10-yard line, returns it another 10. Iowa Central Tritons come up with a big defensive stop. Give them the big blue belt to wave to the Triton side. The band is on fire. The cheerleaders are loving it, and so is the dance side. 1st and 10 for the Iowa Central Tritons. Huge defensive stop. As Bauer throws his first pick of the game. That's his second turnover. He had a fumble in the first quarter. Silverstein comes out there with Wilbin. They'll send Cal Weideman in motion. He's got burners. They'll hand off to Walter Wilbin. He's moving forward before he gets trucked back behind the line. Let's see if they'll give him forward progress or if they kept the play alive. It'll be a 2nd down and long. This is the 7th drive in the first half here for the Iowa Central Tritons, which is something that usually averages to 7 drives by the end of the first half, but we still have 10:45 to play here. Ball is on the 20-yard line on the Triton side. It's 2nd down and 10. As they're going to try to go short with Jaden Washington, and he'll end up short as well. Third and 9 for the Iowa Central Tritons as Washington got a yard out of it. Ball's on the 21-yard line. 10 minutes and 15 seconds remain. Staying cloudy here in Fort Dodge, Iowa. Nice breeze today. Empty backfield for Silverstein. He's back to pass. He'll fire right away. Oh, and he just didn't see it that time. That was George Sims. The ball was right where it needed to be. It was perfect. But just like we saw from that fade route earlier, when Silverstein tried to hit Brian Davis, the receivers just weren't looking for the ball in time. Silverstein had to get rid of the ball early as they sent 6 on the defensive line. Did a good job at holding it up, our offensive line unit, but still had to let it rip. And that's the 2nd time where the Tritons just weren't looking for the ball on the receiving end. Now, not saying that's the receiver's fault, not saying that's the quarterback's fault. Maybe it's just miscommunication, and sometimes you just got to let it go. Punt formation now, Logan Williams goes out as we see the 4th 3 and out from the Tritons today. Williams with a big booming kick to Miles Clark. He gets down on the 15. That's the best punt of the day. Fielded on the 10. Miles Clark trying to make his way forward. Colton Hogg will wrap him up. That's our tight end, baby. I love to see the offensive players make a defensive stance. Noah Epley was there too on the tackle. And a flag will be thrown down. 9 minutes, 50 seconds remaining. The ball is near the 30-yard line, but it's on the left side. So maybe a block on the back on the return. Is it a block in the back? That's what I'm possibly thinking. I'll also keep you notified once I see if their starting right tackle gets brought back into the ball game on the Ellsworth side. That's 77 who was subbed out, Jason Stroberg. He's a real big kid, standing at 6'6". It's a block in the back on the kicking team. Wow. Block in the back on the kicking team. That's something that doesn't happen much when it's against the kicking team, especially when punting. There's been a few times where we've seen a few sightings. That's not very normal. And Coach Montalto, it looks like, is even going to come out and say, what in the world?
Correction.
There you go.
Block in the back on the return team.
It's on the return team. Otherwise, I was going to say, what? It's very, very rare, but you see it sometime against the punting team for blocking the back. But no, I mean, the more common answer would be against the return team, as that's the correction on the field. 1st and 10, ball is on the 15-yard line on the Ellsworth side. They're moving from right to left on your video monitor. Going to throw, start with a curl route, and that's going to get right past the return man. He's on his feet running. Wow! He's got burners. Sign him up for track and field. He just went yard. 85 yards to Malcolm Gilly. Man, I didn't even have time to pre-sell this drive. Malcolm Gilly was off to the races as soon as he caught the ball. Now on the coverage that time was Tony Brodnox, who had that great defensive play in the end zone earlier. He tried to just lunge forward, dive at the ball, and swat it down, but that time he couldn't get there to the ball in time. That left Malcolm Gilly wide open. That's an 85-yard receiving touchdown off of a curl route. 75 yards after the catch. Holy smokes. Here's the PAT now. It's up, but a little too low. The kick is blocked. They're saying it was blocked by Deontay Bryant. He's got a big reach, so there you go. 17-13. There's still 9 minutes and 37 seconds to play in the first half. So reviewing a little what we've seen in the first half, the Tritons, the biggest part of their ball game so far that has gone against them is just shooting themselves in the foot, not playing all the way through and taking some risks in the backfield. Multiple times you've seen a little too much extra effort from the defensive backs. And you say, extra effort? Well, don't you want that? Well, yes, of course, but not all the time, especially in the backfield, when you can get called for block in the back, when you can get called for defensive pass interference, and when you can give up big plays like that. As we saw a defensive player, Brodnox for the Tritons, tried to dive at a ball to swat it down. It got right through him. A really nice thrown ball from Bauer, and when you get it to a guy like Gilly, who's got a lot of speed, who beat you earlier with a 51-yard receiving touchdown off of a streak route, that time it was just a curl route. He just took it off to the races, and no one could beat him. 17-13. Back deep to return for the Iowa Central Tritons, I see Isaiah Hazlitt. Joined by his side out there, I also see number 3, George Sims, who had their first return of the contest. Something to note, Ellsworth will return the kickoff in the second half to begin it. So if you're Ellsworth, if you can get another 3-and-out stop, the 5th of the day, and then go down and score once more and take the lead heading into the halftime, wow, that would be a great, great stand from the visiting team. The kick is up. Ellsworth boots it over towards Hazlitt, who will return it from the 15. Hazlitt goes up past the 30 to the 35, where he'll be brought down, as he might have just landed short of at the 35, depending where they spot him with his knee. That was Max Froon that made the tackle again on the kickoff. 17-13, the Tritons have the lead. We've seen 2 quarterbacks in the mix today between Justin Silverstein and Marion Bartlett. I've yet to see John Holcomb out there even taking a snap today, who's that flex player I mentioned in the pregame report. Pistol formation, here comes Sims in motion. Silverstein saying he got a guy jumping, but Ellsworth and the crew saying no. Uh-oh, defensive audible, look at this. Huge heads-up play. They're going to send 7 on the line, and they're crashing hard. They know it's a run with Washington. He's trying to bounce outside, and it doesn't matter if you know it's a run. Jaden Washington with a big pickup. As that's going to be a pickup of about 7 yards. 2nd and 3 now. Ball going to be near the 41-yard line. That was Grant Fills on the tackle for Ellsworth. That was awesome. That was very, very impressive. That shows how talented the offensive line and running back is for the Tritons. That was Washington, the ball carrier that time. He's back there as well to the right hip of Silverstein. Silverstein with a quick pass. Going to try and send it out that time. Ooh, a suplex tackle. Jeez, got to look out for that. Don't need an injured player. That was towards Travis Isaac. What I love today, so many receivers have been getting involved. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 9. No, I have 10 different receivers. Now, granted, we have played a lot of snaps. This is the 7th drive for the Iowa Central Tritons here. But still, I mean, that's impressive early, getting 10 targets already to 10 different guys. Shows a lot of tokes for a high-efficient offense. 1st and 10, Tritons. Handoff to Washington. He breaks one before he keeps moving forward, and the Panther double team brings him down. It might be another Triton 1st down, and it is. Here we go. Jaden Washington is coming alive halfway through the 2nd quarter. Here's doubles on the near side, and they'll just hand it off. Washington breaks through the line again. He still moves forward. It's going to be another 1st down. Jaden Washington with another Triton 1st down. The Tritons, 3 plays, 3 in a row with 1st downs. Pistol formation. They can do it again here if they want. This time back to pass. Stepping up. Pump fake. Silverstein tries to run with it. Oh, man. Takes a big shot, but he's a tough kid. He gets right back up after the hit, and he even gains 2 yards, 2nd and 8. Props to the big hit from Silverstein. As he got a shot at his legs, his chest, and had even been wrapped up by a 3rd guy. 2nd and 8. Ball's on the 33-yard line. The Tritons inching towards the Ellsworth red zone. Washington goes for a swing pass in motion. Firing a short curl route to George Sims. He makes the catch and tried to move forward but ended up going backwards. Let's see where they'll place him. Hopefully they put him right where he originally caught the ball, as they will. So it'll be a gain of about 1. A gain of 1, it's a 3rd and 7 now. Gain of 1, 3rd and 7. 17-13, 6:45 on the clock. There's John Holcomb running a flat route. You can see him right there. Oh, he got leveled down there from a backer. Come on. That's what he's saying to the ref, is he got leveled by 28 over there. The pass falls incomplete just off to the right of Desno Washington, but no refs were there to see that one. Coming over the middle of the field. And granted, maybe they're trying to say that John Holcomb just tried to draw the foul, but it was Nick Breon, who was the linebacker, that shoved him to the ground. That could have even been unnecessary roughness. Had him pushed down when he wasn't even looking. It's 4th and 7. The starting offense is still out on the field. 17-13, ball on the 32. George Sims goes in motion before he gets back to the weak side. Firing for Sims, but Sims doesn't run as deep as intended. Looks like Sims ran about a 5-yard route, but Silverstein was hoping he would have ran that 7 yards to get the 1st down. That will fall incomplete. 17-13, 6 minutes and 30 seconds remain, as we just saw the 3rd turnover on downs from the offense today on the Triton side. Six minutes, 30 seconds remain. Ellsworth takes over on their own 32-yard line. So there's been a flurry of turnovers today. One deep safety in Camacho for the Tritons. They'll send 5. As they're going to swing it now to Hall. Looks like he had enough for a 1st down, at least a pickup of 9. I mean, you're so close, you could just give it to him here. 6 minutes and 19 seconds will remain, and the clock will still be moving. And they are motioning for a 1st down, a pickup of 10. Ball's on the 42, 1st and 10. 6 minutes and 20 seconds remain. 17-13. Bowers back to pass. He fires short for Hall on a similar route. That time it looked more like a wheel. And right there was Rex Van Wy on the coverage. Rex Van Wy has been really impressive today. 2 forced fumble today for Rex Van Wy. He's done great work as he's brought the pressure. Bunch of solo tackles. Rex Van Wy is my player of the game so far on the Triton side. 6:15 remains in the half. Bowers back to pass. He'll step up, and he will fire over the middle of the field. That time hit. I believe that was Clark right in the numbers. Let me double check. Now that was actually Walt Hart. Noah Epley was on the coverage. And Walhart has just had a bad ball game when it has came to catching the football. He's made the footwork count. He's made a lot of men miss, finding himself open, but once again just hit himself right in the numbers. I do see the starting right tackle, 77, Jason Stroberg, is still out and on the sideline. He's still suited up. I'll let you know if I see him return. Rolling to his left, Bauer will fire. Oh, my goodness. Great throw and an even better catch. Toe drag swag past the first down marker. That's a pickup of 13 by DeMiles Clark Tate. DeMiles Clark Tate plays defense, offense, and is the primary return man. He's been so impressive, too, between him as their other guy, their super speedster. And there he goes again, Miles Clark. Oh, he dropped it, though. Pick it up. Pick it up. They're saying he caught it, but stepped out of bounds? Oh, my. Okay. Now, that's on the far side of me. The Triton fan in me says, no way, but at the same time, that's out of my line of sight. Don't know for sure if he did step out, but if he did step out of bounds, then that's the right call. To me, if he was stripped, that would have been the fourth fumble of the game on the Ellsworth side. 17-13, 5:45 remains. Bauer's back to pass. He will fire long. That one intended for the speedster again, Malcolm Gilly, but just a little outside. And that looks like a new D-back that was covering on him. It was 24 for the Iowa Central Tritons. Former number of Bayal Kone. That is now Tracy Davis from Norwalk, Iowa, wearing the 2-4. Rolling to his right and firing. It's tipped. Oh, look at that. He almost jumped on it. That was Camacho. He almost had an interception earlier. He almost got a second one, too. The other safety, the strong safety for the Iowa Central Tritons, he had an interception early in Elijah Graham. I'm sure there's a competitive nature between the two on who ends the day with more. Especially with Camacho, who has had more opportunities. That's a stinger. Here we go. 3rd and 10, balls on the 25-yard line. 5:33 remaining in the first half. Bauer is back to pass. He's looking long. He'll have to step up. There's pressure. Bryant is there and bringing him down. It wasn't Bryant. It was someone else. Oh, you know what? It was Williams, the freshman coming in. Great tackle that time. James Williams, originally from Parkville, Missouri. Really nice stuff from James Williams right there. Here we go now. 17-13, 4:51 remains. Looks like there's some confusion on the field, and Iowa Central will take the timeout. That's the first timeout of the half. 4 minutes and 45 seconds remain. We're going to just keep it right here. 17-13, the Iowa Central Tritons have not scored since the close of the first quarter. Now they are out on defense. For Ellsworth, this is their 8th drive overall. That's a lot. That is a lot of drives early. Granted, there's still 4 minutes and 45 seconds to play in the first half, but because of all the possession flips, the game has gone a little slower today so far, as we are about an hour and 15 minutes into the broadcast coverage since the game originally started with the kickoff. 4:45 on the clock, 17-13. It's a 4th down and 11. And here's the sun peeking out now. Sun's peeking out towards the south. Got some nice shine on the field. Bauer's in the gun. He's got doubles off to his strong side. Doubles on his weak side as well. Didn't see that. Bauer fires to a post route. Camacho almost had another interception. Once again, he didn't. Pass broken up by Camacho. Now, of course, I want to see Camacho get that interception, which he almost has had 3 times, but it's probably for the best that he batted it down because the Tritons will start with better field position than where he would have originally caught the ball. Iowa Central Tritons take over. They're up 17-13. 4:41 is on the clock as they will start on their own 26-yard line. This is their 9th drive of the game. Here's John Holcomb, who comes in at quarterback now. As I expected him to get some reps, he's going to start with a read option. He's running. He'll stiff arm a man, and he'll be tackled at the shin. Holcomb's a big guy who just recently has been subbed in the drive before. They'll give him a pickup of 2. It's 2nd and 8 now. Ball on the 28. 4:25 on the clock. Holcomb will stay out there. James Murray as the tailback in the pistol. Hogue goes in motion. They'll hand off. No, quarterback keeper off the read option. Holcomb runs as he breaks outside. Oh, and the ball came loose. Oh, no. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. Picking up was number 41, Dan Knudsen. Let's see if they give it to him or if they call the play dead. And they're motioning like they're going to give it to him. First down, Panthers. Wow. Knudsen was the one that came up with the ball. I'm not for sure if he was the one that stripped it as well. Sloppy game today. Lots of turnovers early in this first half. 4 minutes, 3 seconds remain. 17-13. And just as if there was never a turnover on downs, Ellsworth starts it right back up with a 1st and 10, their 9th drive of the game so far. Ball's on the 27-yard line on the Triton side. Bauer is going to have to roll to his right and fired, throw it away. See where the pressure was that time. The pressure that time was number 32. That's Brian Lively, the inside linebacker from Coralville, Iowa. 17-13, under 4 minutes to play. The clock stopped at 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Got Trips on the weak side. He's going to have to try to rush through the offensive line as the pocket collapses. Rex Van Wy and Lively was there again. About said Blake Lively, the country singer. Here we go. 3rd and 14 now. Back-to-back, nice defensive plays from the Tritons, applying that pressure to Bauer, and I think they're starting to figure out how to get under his skin. We played against Bauer last year now, but it's been successful here. As they swing it to Gilly off a wide receiver screen, he still stays on his feet as the ball moves forward. It looks like Deontay Bryant is the one who landed on top of the dog pile. It's going to be a pickup of about 7, maybe 8 yards. 4th down and 6. Fourth and 5 actually is the official call. Ball's on the 22. 2 minutes, 50 seconds remain. Empty backfield. Trips on the far side, 2 on the near. They will go to the near side, firing for Gilly, and the flag is thrown. Oh, that's another shot to the heart, dude. That, seriously. Another pass interference more than likely will be called. And this time against another Triton defensive back, unless they call it offensive. I did see the Triton did fall down. Still waiting for the call as the refs are talking it over. (17-13 to score. 2:41 remains. It is pass interference on the defense. That has been the Achilles heel of the Iowa Central Tritons. I have 4 defensive pass interference against the Tritons today. These big shots have not been good. Now, the Triton goal line defense has been outstanding, but you're asking them to keep on going out there and perform and get the job done. Granted, they're more than willing to do so, but this is going to burn out the defense in the long run. 2:41 remains, first and goal. The ball's on the 8-yard line. Dime package for the Tritons. Rolling out to his right. Rex Van Wy was there, nearly got the sack. He had to just throw it away. Pass was intended to number 9, Keith Allen.
Second and goal for the 8.
Starting right tackle is still out for Ellsworth. I'm assuming they're going to sit him the rest of the first half and check in with him at halftime to see how he feels. Otherwise, we haven't seen any other injuries today, so that's very good. Bowers steps back to pass. He goes to a fade route to Gilly. On the coverage that time was the same man that got it done earlier. That time, Stephen Saiwan, the D-back out of Altoona, Iowa. 17-13. 17-13, Tritons have kept their lead all of this quarter, but Ellsworth, they're inside the 10. It's third and goal, ball on the 8. Timeout called. I bet. Timeout, as Ellsworth is going to take it. Let's keep it right here. 17-13, 2 minutes and 35 seconds remain. Listening to the PA man and Brownie, it sounds like we're going to have a special presentation at halftime. You guys are going to want to stick around for that. We'll also have a halftime break for you filled up on Triton Nation's YouTube stream. If you're just joining us, it's been a quite sloppy ball game. I got to be honest. 17-13. The Tritons have had the lead since about 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. But, I mean, here we go. Panthers, they've scored 10 unanswered. Now, originally, when the Panthers struck first, 7-0, the Tritons scored 17 unanswered. So it's been a tug of war. 17-13, 2:35 remains coming out of the Triton timeout. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining. It's third and goal on the 8-yard line. Bauer in the backfield with Hall in the gun. Hall's just standing off to the right side of his hip, trips on the strong side. They'll send Hall to a swing pass. Fade route, got him. Gilly ran an excellent route. He ran a 2-yard slant route, but then did a spin move and backed around. That was a professional-style route ran by Malcolm Gilly. That was fantastic. One of the best routes I've seen ran by a receiver all year round, as that just took the Tritons off their own turntables. 19-7 before the PAT. And it's blocked again, fielded by the lineman on the Ellsworth side, number 70. Wow, that's the second block we've seen from this Triton defense on the PAT side. There you go. 19-17, Ellsworth has taken their lead right back since last having it about halfway through the first quarter. The Tritons got to answer, man. They've been silent all quarter long. And you don't want to go into the second half cold by any means. (19-17), 2 minutes and 30 seconds remain. Like I said last year, Ellsworth against the Tritons, the last time they played against each other, it was the closest game it's ever been against the two in the series, in the Montalto series, since he took over the Triton coaching job in 2017. Where that final score was 36-32. It was a very rainy, nasty day. Had like an hour-and-a-half long rain delay. Haven't had a delay at all today. I was scared we possibly could have. I'll check in with the weather once we get to the halftime report. Still 19-17 as we're waiting on the kickoff now from Ellsworth. George Sims, Isaiah Haslett are the 2 back deep to return for the Iowa Central Tritons. Lining up for the kickoff. Here goes the kick. It's pooched up. Just kind of lofted high and short. Uh-oh, got a jump on it. That could have been dangerous. It only has to go 10 yards for you to be able to recover it without drawing a penalty. Isaiah almost did that right there. Luckily, Isaiah Hazlitt was there to jump right on it. 19-17, the Panthers have the lead. Here come the Iowa Central Tritons. They're going to switch up the quarterback again. They'll bring back out Justin Silverstein. As we last saw John Holcomb in the mix a moment ago. They're going to come out in a heavy package with Weideman as a blocking back, and the other running back, it looks like, is Washington. They will hand off for Washington. Tries to break outside. From where I'm sitting, it's going to be hard to tell exactly where he stepped out of bounds at. So I'm going to have to just rely on the line judge on that one. It looks like a gain of just 1. 2nd and 9, 2 minutes and 20 seconds remain in the second quarter. We got doubles on the strong side, also 2 spread wide on the far. Looking back to pass to Silverstein. He's got an open man in Washington. He's got it. Put it right on the money. Desno Washington with his second receiving touchdown of the day. That one went for 69 yards to the house from the 31-yard line. There you go. So now the score is going to be at least 23-19, and that's before the PAT. Trying to make it 24-19. Should be a 5-point ball game. Wahey lines up for the kick. Camacho as the holder. It's right through the upright. 24-19, your Iowa Central Tritons. Just took them 2 plays to come back on since Ellsworth first took back the lead. Now you got to trot back out on defense and show how torqued off you are. Because we know these two, not fans of each other in the slightest. This is big brother versus younger brother, little brother. 24-19, 2 minutes and 2 seconds remain. Here's the other thing to note. These two are just seeing each other once this year. In the past, they would see each other twice, each of the pair having a home game apiece. But because of us joining the Jayhawk play schedule, we get to see less games in our conference since we're still part of the ICAC conference. So we still get to play once against everyone in the conference, which is it's just a 3-team conference, us 2 right here, and then Iowa Western. So this is a huge game. Whoever wins this game basically has their ticket punched for the conference championship game, which could definitely impact seeding for the college football playoffs at the NJCAA level. Bouncing into the end zone, that's the first time today we did so and did not let their return man, their speedy man, I forget his name at the moment, Miles, return it back to Miles Clark Tate, return it back, so that's good.
Well, we play to the 25-yard line where Ellsworth takes over 1st and 10.
24-19, 2 minutes and 2 seconds remain. Tritons have the lead, and now they're out in defense. Bauer will come out with a new back. It's Cranshaw. Crenshaw gets the carry. Epley is there to sumo him down near the line of scrimmage. I was going to say, I'm just stuck at 0. Oh, they'll give him a loss of 1. Tackle for loss. There you go. 24-19, a minute 45 on the clock. 2nd and 11. The ball is on the 24-yard line. Bauer's in the backfield with Crenshaw. He's going to fire to a short in route. And that time still staying alive with it. Almost lost the ball. That was to Mason Waltard again. We got it sent outside.
Demetrius Walker with the stop.
Timeout.
And right there, Iowa Central will call a timeout. There's 1 minute and 23 seconds remaining. This is the 10th drive of the game for Ellsworth. The Tritons have had 11. I heard an announcement as he head up, said to please put 1:27 on the clock. They're going to give him another 4 seconds there from when they originally called the timeout. 24-19, a minute 27 seconds remain. The Panthers have the ball, but they're down by 5. Panthers do have 2 of their timeouts remaining. The Tritons now have just 1 after they called this last timeout. (24-19), a minute and 27 seconds remain. Trips on the far side. You see Ellsworth now moving from right to left on your video monitor. Back to passes Bauer. Oh, Williams was there for his nearly for his first career sack. Great throw. Fantastic throw off of a wheel route. It just caught right past Rex Van Wy. Oh, my goodness. And the man that caught it was DeMiles Clark Tate. A minute, 20 seconds remain, and that's a first down, a pickup of over 20. The ball is now going to be marked on the 44-yard line on the Triton side. Doubles on each side. In the gun. Back to passes Bauer. He's stepping up, pump fake, and right there, Williams was there. Almost got his first career sack again. Malcolm Gilly was there that time as he was brought down in the flats after he caught it over the middle of the field. It's going to stay within 10. 2nd and 10. 58 seconds remains. Looks like we got trips on the near side, a lone receiver spread out wide on the far. It's Cranshaw to the hip of Bauer. Bauer's back to pass. He's taking his time. Williams is there. Williams, no. Epley's there too. Big throw. There's a flag in the backfield. Camacho got his hand on it to break it up, but there is a flag in the backfield near where the offensive line are standing. And I was chasing down James Williams and Noah Epley, who was right behind him. See the call here. There's 33 seconds remaining. Looks like offense is moving back. On number 75, it's a holding call against Dion Towser, a freshman. That's our starting right guard. 2nd down and 19 now. The ball is on the 46-yard line now on the Ellsworth side. Big play here. 33 seconds remain in the first half. Doubles on each side. Whoa, high snap. Got to get back. We got Triton rushers there, and Bauer's just going to jump on it. That was awesome. Great timeout call, too, by the way. Iowa Central and Coach Montalto going to take a timeout right there because now it's going to be like a 3rd and 40. As they've yet to make the official call of the ball. I'll let you know right when I see it. But I saw Deontay Bryant was there alongside Andre Porter. They were the first 2 rushers that got to the quarterback. And Josh Bauer, who had to just jump on it. It will be a 3rd down and 43. Ball beyond the 26-yard line. Now, the Tritons took a timeout, but if you're the Panthers here, to keep the Tritons from getting the ball back, all you got to do is run the ball once. There's a 25-second play clock. There's 26 seconds remaining, so good odds that this will just go into the half. Now, with that said, if there was 30 seconds on the clock, then there might have been just 1 second where they would be forced to punt the ball. But right here, if you want, you can just really kneel it or just run around in the backfield for 1 yard and then wait for the rest to just clock out. They'll come out in a Cadillac formation with 3 in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff. Makes his way towards the line of scrimmage. Gets to the, well, he gets to about the 25-yard line. There's 15 seconds left in the first half. And that'll be it for the first half of football. 24-19. I'll tell you what, let's keep it right here. I'm going to go over the scoring drives, and then we'll throw it to a break. This is your Triton halftime report with Hank. So far, what we've seen was really slow offense early on for the Iowa Central Tritons in the first quarter, as they were very slow to begin the second quarter as well. But they got so much better in the back 5 minutes of the first and second quarter, so that's something to look good and forward to. But we have to start this second half off on a high note. We're just up by 5 points. Ellsworth has been in the game this whole entire ball game, but they have had a handful of turnovers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turnovers from them in the first half alone. 3 of them being fumbles, 1 of them an interception, 2 of them turnovers on downs. 3 of those turnovers happened inside the red zone. So the Triton defense has been wonderful today. Yes, they've given up 19 points. A lot of them being big play drives, but I tell you what, the Iowa Central Tritons have done a good job at coming back and doing a great job. As I take a look at the scoring drives for the Iowa Central Tritons, Liam Wahey was the first to score with about a 20-yard field goal. Silverstein threw an out route to Isaiah Hazlitt for 20 yards. That was a touchdown. Desno Washington also had a 69-yard receiving touchdown, and Cal Weideman had a 5-yard RPO out route. Those were the touchdowns for the Iowa Central side. Over on the Ellsworth side, Malcolm Gilley had a 51 receiving yard touchdown off the third play of the game. As well as that, they also had a Malcolm Gilley 85-yard receiving touchdown that went off a 10-yard curl route, and then Gilley had a third touchdown on an 8-yard fade route. Got to find a way to calm down these speedsters. We're going to have this halftime break coming up in just a little bit, so make sure you stick around. 24-19, the Tritons lead it heading into the second half, where Ellsworth will return the kickoff. This is Hank Ambrose for the Triton Halftime Report. I'll catch you at the beginning of the second half.
Wilson's joyous spirit and attitude will forever live in the Iowa Central football program. We know that Rogan was a wonderful son and family man. We trust that during the most difficult of times, his warm smile and bright outlook on life will assist his family with any problems or obstacles that they may encounter. It is with a heavy heart, but with tremendous pride, that we present Brogan's 2021 Graphic Edge Bowl championship ring to his father, Scott Wilson.
Sounds good.
For your halftime entertainment, please welcome to the field the Iowa Central Community College Triton Marching Band. This year, the band is under the stands and field direction
You gotta keep going, keep breathing. When you face a day that feels like you're gonna break, you gotta believe what I see. You gotta keep going, keep breathing. When you face a day that feels like you're gonna break, so lean on the ones that love you, the guardian angels above you, and think about when peace just another color. Ooh, just another color. Just another color.
Attention island friends, this is a parrot service announcement, a manta ray mayday, a turtle alert, bottlenose news flash. They're in trouble and you can help. Our mission at the Blue Project Foundation is to protect thousands of endangered animals and their homes. One of the ways is by caring for coral reefs, a vital part of our entire ecosystem. Find out how you can help save these majestic animals. Learn more at blueprojectatlantis.org.
Dance team earned a bid to national competition in Daytona Beach this spring. To finish their show theme, feel free to sing along with the Triton Marching Band to the sarcastic popular single by Olivia Rodrigo, "This Is Good For You." come together as the Triton Marching Band plays your Iowa Central School song, Tritons, Fight On! Performing at Triton home football games, as well as numerous exhibitions for schools and events each fall, the Triton Marching Band is open to all instrumental students, regardless of major. Visit ictritons.com for more information on the Triton Marching Band. Jeremy Smith is Director of Athletic Bands at Iowa Central. Iowa Central Percussion is sponsored by Big Firth. This is Steve Brown voicing the Triton Marching Band. Until our next performance, keep a song in your heart.
but Mom, don't skip your recommended vaccines. They help protect you against certain diseases, so ask your doctor or pharmacist about any recommended vaccines you may need. Skip the other stuff instead, like, I don't know.
Skip the pants.
Check me out.
You gotta believe without seeing. You gotta keep going, keep breathing. When you face a day it feels like you're gonna break. You gotta believe without seeing. You gotta keep going, keep breathing. When you face a day that feels like you're gonna break. So lean on the ones that love you, the guardian angels above you, and think about when peace just another color. Ooh, just another color. Just another color.
Triton Nation, welcome back to your home broadcast of the Iowa Central Tritons taking on the Ellsworth Panthers. This is Hank Ambrose on call for Triton Nation today. Thank you for making me part of your day. Helping me produce the broadcast today, we got Rusty over in the trailer. As well as that, we got Donnie and Derek on cam. So thank you guys for helping us out with that. And boy, what a long first half we went through. Lasted about an hour and 40 minutes. Just for reference here, we're playing 15 minutes a quarter at the NJCAA level. High school football plays about 12 minutes a quarter, and the game I called last night for the Fort Dodge Dodgers just lasted about 55 minutes in the first half. So it's been awfully long. Tritons had 13 drives in the first half. Ellsworth also had 13. It's been nuts. They had 6 turnovers there in the first half as we open up with a really nice kickoff, as I'm sure heading into the second half, these Tritons are fired up. Probably got one heck of a speech and rant over there from Montalto's men. Heading into this game, the Tritons are 2-1 on the season, ranked at number 7 in all of the NJCAA. And Ellsworth, as our bitter rival, they're looking for their first win on the season. They're currently sitting at 0-2. They've played one less game than we have. 24-19, Ellsworth just returned the kick to the 6-yard line. First and 10, Panthers. Star players of the first half are the Panthers. I saw Gilly was the main man. He had 3 receiving touchdowns. All 3 were scored because of his dynamic footwork. It was insane. Speaking of footwork, there goes Hall bursting outside before shoved out of bounds. 24-19 is the score. Let's see where they place him here. Now, it was on the opposite side of where I'm sitting from. So depending on where he stepped, oh, there we go. There's a penalty mark in the backfield. Didn't even see that. Yep, and we've had plenty of those. Ellsworth, that's been their Achilles heel. holding for them, and for the Tritons' Achilles heel, it's been pass interference and giving up big plays. Ellsworth has like 3 guys that are like 99 speed, like insanely quick, that the Tritons just can't pair up against them, and we cannot let them get behind our feet. And that's what has led them to score 3 times touchdown-wise, 3 touchdowns. 24-19, there's a scat route. That time it got sent out to one of their main speedsters. That was number 5, DeMiles Clark Tate. 24-19, 14 and a half minutes remain. DeMiles Clark Tate is a guy that I'd say is quite due today. He's returned the kickoff about 3 times, each of them nearly crossing the 50-yard line for like 30, 40 yards is what his average is right now. He is an insane player. He plays both ways as well, defensive back and wide receiver. He's a tough kid. 14 and a half minutes remain, 24-19. Bowers back in his own end zone. He will fire for Malcolm Gilly, who had 3 receiving touchdowns in the first half. That one will fly over his head. Nice coverage that time. On the Iowa Central Tritons side, that was Stephen Saiwan who was there. Kevontae Fowler was right around the marker too. We've seen a lot of switch-ups on defense for the Iowa Central Tritons. Heading into the game, there was just 1 injury in our starting inside linebacker, middle linebacker, Dakari Randall. Taking over his spot today is Lawan Miller. 14:05's on the clock, 3rd and 13, ball on the 4. Ellsworth fires, picked off. Nice ball hawk ability by the big 2-4 on the Iowa Central Tritons side. And just like I said a moment ago, we've had a lot of new defensive players out on the field. That's one of them right there. That's number 24, Takpor. Actually got that one wrong. I got the numbers wrong on my sheet. I'm going to have to check my backup sheet. But that's a brand new interception for number 24. Iowa Central will now take over. And oh my goodness, it looks like another new quarterback, number 11. Going to have to check that out on who that is. Heading into the game, we had Zach Marker injured. I believe that was Tracy Davis on the interception. Now here's number 11 for the Iowa Central Tritons. That is Zach Marker. Wow. Interesting. Now Marker got injured in the first game of the season. He did start last week against Hutchinson, just the first drive, though. He wasn't ready to go, had an issue with his arm, and here he is now, just had a 4-yard quarterback keep, 2nd and 6. We haven't seen him all ball game up until this point. Marker rolls to his right. He's looking to put his arm down, stiff arm, out of bounds. Marker's such a tough kid. I have a direct quote from Coach Montalto, what he said about him in practice, because when I've been visiting the Triton practice, he's even been a guy that hasn't even been able to participate because of injuries that he's been having to take on. So I'll get you that quote once I get some time to. Here we go in a stacked pistol formation. That time it's going to be handed off towards Wilbin. He'll be swallowed up at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1. It was. 4th and 2, ball will be on the 23-yard line on the Ellsworth side. Fourth and 2 for the Tritons. Stack set in the pistol. Cal Weideman goes in motion. Big play here for Marker and company. He'll fire over the middle of the field. Nice pass down to Isaacs. He breaks 2 tackles and dances in the end zone. That's Isaiah Hazlitt. Wow. There you go. First drive, Marker comes into the ball game. It only took him 4 plays to score. 1, 2, 3, 4 with a pass over the middle. I'm going to count that as a 21-yard slant route towards Isaiah Hazlitt. That's his 2nd score of the ball game for Hazlitt. Lining up for the PAT, Liam Wahey. As it's up and it's good.
Extra point by Wahey is good. 12:49 mark of the quarter. Iowa Central 31, Ellsworth 19.
So there you go. 31-19, 12 minutes and 50 seconds remain in the rest of the 3rd quarter. Now, this is different. The first 2 quarters we saw Iowa Central start off really cold on offense, but coming straight out of the gate in the second half, they brought in their original season starting quarterback, Zach Marker, who's been with the team for 3 years. He's had to sit behind Byron Jarrett, but has gotten a lot of playing time because of how dominating the Tritons have been the past few years. It's really good to see him come back into the ball game. This is what Montalto said on Zach Marker when I got to talk to him in practice this past Wednesday. Zach Marker is so good mentally. He'd be ready to play anytime. Now, Marker even had started last week, like I said, against Hutchinson. But even when it came down to practicing, he's a kid that is so conditioned. He works out a lot, despite within the past few weeks not being able to because of a specific injury that he's been dealing with. But right now, in the situation he's in, being able to just be a plug-and-play player, I mean, that is so huge, and that's exactly what Montalto told me. And that just proved the point off his opening drive touchdown to begin the second half. 31-19, the Tritons have the lead. Here we go now with the Ellsworth Panthers, as it'll be touched back to the 25-yard line. 12 minutes, 49 seconds are on the clock. Bauer in the backfield. Hall stands right behind him in the pistol. Doubles are on the near side. Handoff Hall. Big blast that time. Wow. Really big hit that time by Tony Brodnox. Really took him down. Brodnox has made a few really solid plays, that being one of them. He had 2 pass breakups in the end zone. Now, he has been off of the receiving end of letting Gilly fly by him too, but he's a talented receiver. I mean, he's a tough guy. He's going to have to really shut him down this half. Trips on the far side. A lone receiver on the near and Gilly. He's looking left. Bauer going to have to step up, but there's a man there. Bringing him down is big 4-2 for the Baby Blue. Bauer sacked. That's a new Triton. That's Blake Whaley there from Prior Lake, Minnesota. The 2-year starter at defensive line. 31-19. It's now going to be second down and 18. Third down and 18. Third down and 18. 11:40 seconds remains, and the clock is ticking. Doubles on each side. Hall motions to the right of the hip of Bauer. Another motion as well. Back to passes, Bauer. Bauer looking short. He will catch it. It's an inside zone style of a pass, trying to just get Gilly open and let him run off. But really nice coverage by Deontay Bryant and Noah Epley, who were there to bring him down. Right at the line of scrimmage. Actually, he lost another 4 yards. 4th and 21. The ball is on the 13-yard line. 11 minutes remain, and the clock is ticking. Here's their punter backed up in their own end zone. Back to return is Isaiah Haslett for the Iowa Central Tritons. Kick is up. Oh, took a weird spin on the ball. It's going to land sideways on the 30. Nice return from Haslett, just being able to pick it up and bring it forward. They're going to be really close to the 25-yard line. Tritons take over on Ellsworth's 27-yard line. The first drive of the second half for the Tritons. They start on the 24. This is a fantastic start already for the Tritons. 31-19. First and 10, ball on the 27. Zach Marker comes back out there. Jason Murray is behind him in a pistol set. I see Haslett, I see Desna. I also see George Sims out there. Sims running into the flats. That's where they're going to target, just over the head of George Sims. I like the play. It was a rollout pass, but it looked like it could have been even an RPO read. That ended up just being gone incomplete. 31-19, 10 minutes and 35 seconds remain. Tritons coming up in a heavy package with the blocking back in there. That's George Sims, who will motion to the left of Marker. Marker will keep it, and he will take it for himself. He's got wheels. Pickup of at least 5. Uh-oh. Got some extracurricular down on the field with an offensive lineman and defensive backer for Ellsworth. A helmet came off, so he's going to have to come out too.
56 must leave the play field for 1 play.
56, Elijah Heatherston, that's our starting center. We can't have him sit out too long. Luckily, it's just because his helmet came out. It looked a little physical out there too. Coming in there at center for Heatherston is 69, Santos Valdez from Sioux City, Iowa. Marker's in there in the pistol. He's got doubles on each side. They're stacked on his weak side. Send Murray in motion. Back to pass. Marker over the middle. They got their man. Front flip almost into the end zone. Ooh, nice coverage that time by the 0, Nashawn Johnson. But the man that was returning that one was Deuce, Travis Isaac. Travis Isaac almost got his first touchdown of the ball game. That's going to be a pickup of over 15. Under 10 minutes remaining in the third quarter. (31-19). Marker is out there. He's got trips to his weak side. Here comes Murray. Rolling out. He will fire to Murray. Murray was open. That was a check down route, and he could have just ran in there for an easy touchdown there. It was a little too forward, maybe a miscommunication. Murray did not start this season, so maybe it's just getting familiar with the playbook still. (31-19). 9.5 minutes remain in the third quarter. Marker, feet away from the gun. Hand off Washington. A halfback counter. Uh-oh, blasted in the flats. Really nice tackle that time. Looked like 34 on the tackle there. 34 out there, that's Sinai Pillow. 31-19, Tritons trying to add on to their tally. They can make this a 3-possession ball game here. Doubles on the weak and trips on the strong side. It's an empty backfield for Zach Marker, trying to draw him off sides. Look at that set on the defensive line. There are 6 guys across the board. Here comes the pressure. Got to let it fly early. Picked off by a big fella. Rumbling, bumbling. Here he goes. Holy moly, he's got wheels too. Holy. There he goes. Desna Washington trying to catch him. 99 is still running. Sumo speed. Let him run. Wow, big fella running. You love to see that. Not if you're a Triton fan, but 99 with like a 75-yard interception return. 99. That may just be his one and only interception in his football career. He's gassed. Someone give him the belt, give him a water. He just saved a 3-possession ball game for the Tritons. 99 on the defensive line is actually their starting defensive tackle, Jalen Vaughn, who came out in a zone read. Cracking up from that one. We love to see the big boys run. Ball's now on the 12-yard line. So that was actually more like an 85-yard run back. Here's Bauer now, going to have to let it fly early over towards Gilly. Oh, that was nearly picked off now. Ooh, it's getting close. Back and forth, back and forth. That would have been awesome if the Tritons got it right back there and calmed down this Ellsworth side. They got excited. It's Tony Broadnex on the breakup, leading the team in breakups so far. 31-19, 8:25 remaining. Hand off to Hall. Hall moves up the field. Maybe a gain of 1 or 2. Oh, and an extra effort from their offensive line. Ellsworth, got to give them credit. They are fighting hard. Very physical football team. Got to say, let me say this. Big props to Desna Washington as well. He was the man that tracked down the big fella, Jalen Vaughn, who picked off Zach Marker. He didn't give up till the end of the play. He could have let him just take it to the house, but now that we're in a 3rd and 7 situation inside the 10-yard line, this could be huge. Going short to Hall. Hall just with a swing pass. They will score. Hall with a 9-yard swing pass, going to get it done. And just like that, the Panthers are right back in this thing. 31-25 before the PAT. Still waiting for this call. There goes the kicker now. It took some time to kind of decide if they're going for 2 or not. The difference would be a 5 within 4 game ball game. Here goes the kick. Just above the post. That's good. 31-26, and just when we thought that the Tritons were clubbing them away early in the second half, one big play set up Ellsworth inside the Triton 10-yard line. Once again, shout out to the big fella, Jalen Vaughn, for rumbling all the way inside the 10-yard line on about an 85-yard return. 31-26, 7 minutes and 42 seconds remain in the ball game. Oh, looks like Tritons maybe, no, they're not changing up. They're a little more deeper on this return I see here. There goes that band again, getting loud. 31-26, we just began the third quarter. There's 7 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in quarter number 3. The sun has certainly came out. I like to see that more. It was getting a little chilly in the first half. Now it's getting humid almost. The wind has picked up too, blowing into the north. So we're sitting in the 70s right now. There you go. That goes that wind. It blew the ball over on the tee. There we go. There's a kick. That goes to Hazlitt. Caught it on the 20, returned it at least 10, at least 15. He's still moving, he's still going. Oh, man, if the field was just a little wider, he would have been through for 6. 31-26. Hazlitt is marked out of bounds on the 41-yard line. Tritons will take over. It's a 1st and 10 with 7:37 on the clock in quarter number 3. Zach Marker coming back out there. Desna Washington and Hazlitt are spread towards a strong side. Also lone receiver, I believe it's George Sims, spread out wide. In the pistol, there goes Hogue in motion. Works his way off to the left hip of Marker. Going to be a handoff. Oh, Murray. Oh, Murray, oh, Murray, oh, Murray. He's still going. He's still spinning. Wow. Murray. He's letting them know how he feels about that last possession from Ellsworth. Pickup of 20-plus yards from big Jason Murray. 7:25 on the clock, 31-26. Oh, look at Desna. He spread out real wide here, but they target a man to the left. That's Hazlitt on a wide receiver screen. Pickup of 8 yards before he struck hard right on the 33-yard line. It looks like we got a penalty marker, or an injury on the field. Injured number 3, he gets up to his own power. It's good to see there. He did kneel down for a moment. Maybe he just took a big shot there. That's Kamari Wilson, who's going to have to work his way off the field. Uh-oh. We got some more lunch out on the field. 31-26, 7 minutes and 4 seconds remain. Here we go, getting back to it. Heavy set in the pistol. There's also 2 receivers spread towards the strong side of marker. Handoff. That is going to go to Murray. Murray's going to add 3 to his back and run forward. A pickup of about 3. 3rd down and 2. Ball is now on the 32-yard line.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2. (31-26). Right there, going to be a handoff to Murray. Murray runs forward as he's going to make his way to the 25-yard line. A gain of another Triton. 1st down. I have seen that number 3 took back out there on the field in Kamari Wilson. They're starting cornerback. 31-26, 6:05 on the clock. Play action pass rolling to his right. Firing it long to Desna. No, that's not Desna, but that's Jamarion Wheeler. Hey, we'll take it. Hey, the 7 and the 1 look awfully similar, especially when those wheels are turning. Jamarion Wheeler stands alone in the end zone off of a 26-yard post route, putting him through. That's good to see Wheeler get involved. We see him mostly lined up in a heavy package on like a Hail Mary or when there's 4 receivers out on the board, and getting that 4th guy out there is really crucial. We had 13 guys targeted for a reception in the first half. That's very, very impressive. Spreading the ball out, showing the love. I love it. Here we go after the score and the PAT. It's 38-26. Ellsworth will take it back with under 6 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Let's see how they'll answer in just a moment. Big fan of how Zach Marker has been able to come into this ball game and perform at what he's done so far. I mean, there you go. He's already got 2 throwing touchdowns to his credit. Almost had another 2 on the 2nd drive inside the 10-yard line. Now we just got to keep him healthy. We don't want to see him getting any big hits against him. Here's Liam Wahey to kick off for the Tritons. 38-26, 5 minutes, 58 seconds remaining. Let's kick it away from Miles. He's in the backfield. Way too quick. It does get to Miles. Catches it overhand on the 10, returns it to the 20, gets it to about the 25. He's tackled on the 23-yard line by number 43 of the Iowa Central Tritons. That is Branson Peters of Mason City, Iowa. It's rivalry week. The Iowa Central Tritons have the lead. They're home in Fort Dodge, Iowa, 38-26. This is a huge game for recruits saying, oh, where do I want to go? What local school? Iowa Central, Ellsworth. So far within the past, 5 years since Coach Montalto came over from Ellsworth, he's been undefeated. And we've been stealing a lot of that local talent, which we love here at Iowa Central. 38-26, 5:55 on the clock. Hall trips in the backfield as he's going to have a loss of, I think, 1. Calling for Andre Porter with the stop. Big fellow wearing the number 1. 38-26, 5.5 minutes remain. In the gun, doubles on each side. Here we go. Tried to throw an out route. Looked like, I don't know if it left out of his hand funny or if maybe a receiver went a little too deep. It's going to be 3rd and 11 now. 38-26, 5:22 on the clock. 38-26, 5:22 on the clock. Trips are stacked on the weak side. Bauer steps up. He rolls to his right. He's looking long. Will end up going short. Did he get enough for the first down? Or did he get his feet in bounds? The ref says no. The ref says no. Pass was intended for number 0, Keith Allen. And now that'll bring up a 4th and 11. 38-26, it's a 12-point ball game. Oh, what do you do here if you're Ellsworth? You're on your own side of the field. Do you really want to give up a 3 and out and a punt?
That play is under review.
Okay, incomplete pass, and the play is under review. Here's something I did not know earlier until halftime that our producer Rusty helped us out with is I guess there's a way for them to check to review it on their phones. They do have a software of some sort. They'll talk it over and check it out over there. 38-26, 5 minutes, 15 seconds remain in the third quarter. So far it's been all Tritons. Ellsworth, they did get another chance of life though off that big interception return. That's one of my favorite plays of the day. That's going to be hard to forget. No injuries today. I'd love to see that, especially with how long this ball game has gone. I mean, 13 drives per team in the first half. That's something that does not happen. Taking a look at the time right now, we sit at 2:23. We sit at 2:23. That means that the ball game's gone on for 2 hours, 25 minutes. Now, the last time they played each other, the Tritons just barely got free, where they won with a score of 36-32. There was an hour-long rain delay, but with how long this game is going, it almost feels like there's been a game as well. And I'm not complaining about it. I love Triton football, especially during rivalry week, but goodness. 38-26, 5:15 on the clock. It looks like they're just going to keep it as 4th and 11. I say that because they haven't picked up the ball, and the punting unit's coming out there. Isaiah Hazlitt is back deep, standing on the 45-yard line on the Triton side to return it.
48 to punt for Ellsworth.
Enough men on the field. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, there is no review. The player and is ineligible to return. So we have an ineligible downfield. That is a 10-yard penalty and a loss of down.
Oh.
Correction. 5-yard.
Hang on. There's confusion. The head ump called that there was no review of the pass going out of bounds, but there was an ineligible receiver downfield. 38-26, 5:15 on the clock. That's a loss of 5 yards. That'll now. Uh-oh, muff snap. Tried to throw it.
Roughing the kicker. Come on.
Oh, now we got to Triton down. Tried to throw it from his knees.
When he gained control of the ball.
He gets up.
First and 10 to 3.
It's an Iowa Central defensive player. It's number 7 for Iowa Central out there. But he's okay. Yeah, you can't throw it from your knees. That's where they'll say it's downed inside the 5-yard line, where the Tritons will take over.
And his knee was down when he regained possession. First down.
38-26, 5 minutes and 13 seconds remaining. The Tritons have had amazing field position here in the second half. Starting on the 27-yard line, the 24-yard line, starting on the 41-yard line, and now starting on the 3-yard line. First and goal. That's been the big switch up from half to half. Here's Zach Marker and his boys in blue. Wilton is by his side, sending Sims in motion. Back to pass. Sims out route. He's wide open and in there off the first play of the drive.
That's complete for the Triton touchdown.
You can call that for a 3-yard
George
scat
Sims
route.
on the reception.
All touchdowns have been receiving touchdowns, by the way. We haven't seen a single rushing touchdown. How about that stat? 3rd-yard scat route to George Sims getting the score. our starting slot receiver finally gets on the board. It's 44-26 before the PAT. Wahey lining up for the PAT. Camacho is the holder. Nice hold. He got it down, and he got it through the upright. 45-26. The Tritons have a 19-score lead. It's a 3-possession ball game here in Fort Dodge, Iowa, and just like that, the Tritons have been rolling, especially since the start of the first half, or the close of the first half, where the halftime score was 24-19. We've seen a lot more scores early on, which has brought the game to move a lot quicker. We got baby blue skies out supporting IC3 as well. It is packed over on the Triton side, and look at those band members, cheerleaders, and dance team rooting on the Tritons. They do such a great job out there on these home matchups. 45-26.
Liam Wade to kick off for the Tritons.
Here we go for the kickoff. Wahey is swinging, big kick. That's going to end up near the end zone. It does. There you go. Took a nice bounce too.
Kickoff goes into the end zone.
Extracurricular over on the 20-yard hash, but
line where Ellsworth takes over.
no penalties thrown. It'll be a first down and 10. Ball marked on the 25-yard line for the Panthers. If you're Ellsworth here, how do you revamp your offense? Hasn't been here all game. The only time they scored was off of that huge interception return. Otherwise, they only have, to my notes, they only have 9 yards in the second half so far of offensive yards. Bowers with it, and he's back to pass. Checks down to his left, looking for Hall. Hall brings it in. Nice catch that time as it goes right over the head of Noah Epley, the star linebacker for the Tritons. He was an All-American last year, I believe, on the second team. 5 minutes and a second remains, 45-26. Trips out to the far side, and look at that. Lone receiver on the near as well. You can see that. Ellsworth is marching from right to left on your video screen. Oh, big hit. Jeez. Is that helmet? Hall laid out a Triton. I don't see any flags thrown, but it looks like the Triton player did get up. Okay, he did. I just see a lot of Ellsworth players in front of my line of sight. He is okay. Good. Jeez, that looked like it was close to the head. You never, ever want to see that. Here we go now. Back to pass. Going to the end zone. And look who it is. Getting his 4th receiving touchdown of the day, Malcolm Gilly. Ball was on the 29-yard line. That one came off of a broken coverage. Once again, really tough day today for number 8 on the Tritons side, filling in Tony Brodnax. 45-32. Looks like they may be going for 2. Here's the scenario they're thinking of. If they get this going for 2, then it's just an 11-score ball game where you can get a field goal, another touchdown with a 2-point conversion. Regardless, it'll still be a 2-possession ball game. Bauer goes back, gets the snap off, tries to throw it, and it's away from Miles.
Is not successful.
So 45-32, it still stays as a 2-possession ball game. There wasn't really anything to lose going for 2 there. That was the right decision. 45-32, we just saw Ellsworth score off of a 3-play drive, which was impacted by 2 40-yard bombs. 45-32, 4 minutes and 12 seconds remain. There go the dancers. And the band. Blaring, go Tritons. Four minutes, 12 seconds on the clock as we're waiting for the kickoff team to come out. (45-32). Back deep to return is Isaiah Hazlitt and George Sims. Here's a kick. Booming towards Hazlitt. Hazlitt fields it near the 20. Hazlitt with the return to the 30 now. Finds a block. He's still on his feet. Crosses the 50. Crosses the 40. He's on his feet. He's going. He's going. He's going. A yard. All the way in.
No flags on the play.
No flags on the field. That's a Triton touchdown. The first special teams touchdown at home this season.
80-yard kickoff return for Isaiah
That's an
Hazlitt.
80-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Hazlitt has had a great ball game today. Just had that kickoff return touchdown. He caught a touchdown earlier in the first half off a 5-yard out route. And here come the Tritons now. 51-32 is the score. There's a kick. Right through the upright. 52-32, just like that. The Tritons answer back off the kickoff return. And there they go, Iowa Central storming on the field. Four minutes, 2 seconds remain. And how will Ellsworth answer after this? I mean, this has to be a shot to the heart, a shot of the confidence. You can tell Ellsworth is starting to feel burned out there. (52-32). Wahey lines up to kick it.
Wahey kicking off for the Tritons.
Here's a kick. High in the sky, going back over the head of Miles Jack.
Touchback brings
And that'll be a touchback. Got some shoving. Expect to see some unnecessary roughness stuff heading into the rest of this game. Is starting to get chippy and chippy drive by drive. More and more so, I should say. 52-32, 4 minutes and 2 seconds remain in the quarter. It's the third quarter. Panther football. Well, the last drive they scored off of a 29-yard streak route with Gilly, who's a speedster. They're lining up Gilly and Miles right side by side now, trying to create separation over there. Oh, nearly came in for the sack, looking to fire long. He will. Oh, and a PA gonna be called.
Pass incomplete
PI.
for Gilly.
PA.
Penalty marker on the play.
I see 2 penalty markers on the play. Both are around the same area. It might just be a double down on the penalty that another referee saw.
Pass interference, defense, number 4.
Pass interference, defense, number 4. That's the 5th defensive pass interference today against the Tritons. Coach Young going to have some work to do. He's the defensive back coach for the Iowa Central Tritons. See him shaking his head over there on the sideline. It's been frustrating. Really great, really fast receiving core, and sometimes we just got to hold on to them to let them not blow right past us. So if it's to not give up a score, then there you go. But increasing their chances, it's tough. 1st and 10, ball is on the 40-yard line. Handoff. Bouncing outside. The ball came loose.
Fumble on the play.
Oh, and Ellsworth fellow jumped on it. Ellsworth jumped on it, I believe, is what I saw. Maybe he lost it in the dog pile. Well, Ellsworth does have it. 1st and 10, 3:33 remains in the third quarter.
Fumble recovered at the 42. Second down, 9 for Ellsworth.
2nd down and 9 for Ellsworth. Doubles on each side. Back to pass. Stepping up. He'll roll to his right, fires downfield for an out route. Oh, and just gets out of reach for the DB over there on the Triton side. Intended for towards Jackson. 52-32, 39 ball is on the 42-yard line. Here you go. Ellsworth is with it. Doubles in the gun. Hall by his side. Bowers back to pass. He'll step up, trying to evade the pressure. It's coming in hot, hot, hot. Firing over the middle of the field. And look who's there, the speedster Miles.
Pass is complete to Jackson.
That's the Miles Clark Tate.
42-yard line will be 1st and 10 for Ellsworth.
Making the catch. A 1st and 10, moving the chains past the 50-yard line. 52-32. 2:45 remains. Ball is on the 44-yard line. Here's a running play, trying to break outside, tackled in the backfield by Rex Van Wy.
Cranshaw.
That was Cranshaw on the carry that time. Two minutes, 20 seconds remain, 52-32. Doubles on each side in the gun. Here we go with Ellsworth. Play action pass, pump fake, rolling to his right, and he will just walk out of bounds.
Power chase out of bounds the 41-yard
He
line.
had a little bit of room to run, but then he decided to hold on to it, looking to throw it. Eventually just ended up running out of bounds, had a pickup of maybe 1. 3rd and 8, ball on the 41-yard line on the Triton side. It's Panther possession. Shotgun formation in the doubles. Back to pass. Firing over the middle. Off the head and picked off. There you go.
Intercepted.
Intercepted on the Triton side. That was huge. That was by 24. The same player I don't have as listed as 24 on my sheet. I know Cavante Fowler originally wore the number 24 but switched jersey numbers. We're going to have to figure out exactly who that is. Possibly Tracy Davis would be my next guess. Tracy Davis for the Tritons. Big interception. It's going to have the Tritons start up near their own 30-yard line. Ball on the 34. A minute 50 seconds remain in the third quarter. Marker hands off, on his feet and still running is Wilton. Wilton is still going, trying to be brought down, trying to be stripped, but doesn't happen. He'll be taken down near the 50.
Walter Wilbin on the carry. That'll be a Triton first down.
(52-32), minute 25 on the clock. Looked like they try to go with an inside zone and pick up a 3 yards. That'll cross the 50-yard line.
Carry.
Heard Robon on the carry.
2nd and 7.
Wilton on the carry. Wilbin, shoot. Walter Wilbin There you go. 2nd and 7, 55 seconds remain in the third quarter. Marker will throw out to his left, and that's picked off. Uh-oh. And look who it is. The last guy. We would have wanted to have it in the hands. Zach Marker is there on the tackle, however. But it's that speedster that was there. If there would be anyone to take it to the house on that side, I would have thought it'd be him on an interception. Number 5, DeMiles Clark Tate. If not the fastest, then the second fastest on the team.
Fans, a silver bracelet was found down by the concession stand. Our Deputy Athletic Director, Kevin Twait, has it. He'll be down at the southeast corner.
52-32, 43 seconds remain. 1st and 10. Ball on the 30-yard line for Josh Bauer. Hand off to Hall. Hall with an inside read. He'll get about 3 yards on the carry. 2nd and 7. Ball going to be on the 27.
David Hall on the carry. And if you want to play, brings up 2nd and 8.
$15 seconds remain in the third quarter. You can get at least one more play off. Your Ellsworth. Back to pass, going to work it short. Fired for number 2, Agalo Efe.
Pass was complete.
That was his first reception and target of the ball game. 52-32, that's the end of the third quarter.
End of the third quarter.
Wow.
Iowa Central 52, Ellsworth
Most productive
32.
quarter so far. We saw, a 21-yard receiving touchdown from Isaiah Hazlitt. We saw a 26-yard post touchdown to Demarion Wheeler. A 3-yard scat route that was sent to George Sims to get a touchdown. We also saw 2 interceptions Zach Marker threw. One was to DeMiles Clark Tate. That was the most recent one. The first one was in the second drive of the second half. That was when the big 99 Vaughn had the interception and almost took it to the house off an 85-yard interception return, just short of scoring the touchdown. For the Panthers, we saw Hall score off a 9-yard swing route and Malcolm Gilly score off of a 29-yard streak route. They also have 2 interceptions going against them, both caught by number 24, which I'm still trying to figure out from the Iowa Central Tritons side. I believe that it's Tracy Davis. I'm certain it's Tracy Davis. And if not Davis, then Daryl Matcham. (52-32). 15 minutes remain in the final quarter play in Fort Dodge, Iowa. 3rd and 4. It's 2:45 currently. Ellsworth possession. It's a big third down here. 3rd and 5. Ball is on the 25-yard line. To begin the quarter, they go with an inside gut play, trying to power forward. It's going to be a pickup of maybe 1. 4th and 4. Uh-oh, and we got a Panther down to begin the quarter 2. As he's lying on the 20.
For an injured player.
Looks like he's in some pain. Never like to see that. (52-32). 14:47's on the clock. We got the trainers checking out an injured player. Can't see the jersey number that went down, but I'll report it to you right as I do see it. Still waiting for it here. 52-32, 14:47 on the clock in quarter number 4. Big shout out to the Triton Nation crew today. Got Donnie and Derek on camera. Rusty back in the trailer. Thank you guys for helping me out. This is Hank Ambrose with Triton Nation calling the game for today. It looks like I see the number now. It's in the 70s, an offensive lineman. 77 is what I see. That's Jason Stroberg. They're going to send some guys over to help him out. Stroberg is that starting right tackle that got injured in the first half as well. Had to sit out some plays. So they're going to help him limp off. Oh, no. Never like to see that. It's a good friend out there. Great teammates in 98 helping him out over there, and Mason Kunkel. As he makes his way back to the sideline, I'll report to see if he takes off his gear or gets it checked out or appears to be doing better. 52-32, 14:45. They're going for it. It's 4th and 5. Here comes Joshua Brower. He's back to pass, rolls to his right. There's pressure there. Great catch, but it's not going to be enough for a first down.
Pass is complete, but he will be brought down.
Looked like it was Demetrius Walker who was there first to bring the pressure. Moments away from getting a sack. 15-32, 14 minutes and 33 seconds remain. We just saw a turnover on downs. Tritons are going to start on their own 23-yard line. This is their 6th drive of the second half. Comparing that to the last half, at the beginning of the 4th quarter, they were already through 10 drives. 14:33. Pistol formation. Going to be a handoff to Washington. He moves forward. Going to have a pickup of a few yards. Looked like a 3-yard pickup. That's solid. I'll take 3 yards every play.
By Elijah Johnson.
Elijah Johnson was the tackler there. 52-32, 14-15 on the clock.
2nd and 8, Iowa Central.
It'll be interesting seeing how soon these Tritons just start to try to go back to time management, trying to milk that clock. There's a lot of football to be played in Fort Dodge, Iowa. Here we go, read option. Marker keeps it for himself, runs up the middle of the field. He's still rolling, and he will slide down.
Quarterback keeper.
He gets enough for a first down plus another about 5 yards. Marker made a great decision sliding there. Having that prior injury already this season, don't want to see him get hurt again. .45 on the clock, 52-32. Marker is trips. Here comes the motion. Coming over. Marker's back to pass now. Oh, trying to evade pressure. Oh, ball comes loose. I don't know if he was down. He might have been down. Still waiting on the official call. I saw one ref point down, one raise his hand. That's the exact opposite of each other. What will be the call? What will be the call? They've got it still placed down. Neither team is coming out. Ellsworth is asking if they could challenge it. And the rest will talk it over. 52-32, 13-10 remains in the 4th quarter. So they're all going to get everyone's point of view, everyone's perspective on what they saw, and then they'll probably watch some video of it on their phones to review. Checking in with Stroberg. It looks like that he's doing better. He's got his helmet off as he's still sitting on the bench over on the away side. Okay. Here we go. 32-52. Tritons have the lead. They got the ball, and they're going to keep it. Here we go. Doubles on the far side. Coming out of what could have been a big fumble loss, 2nd and 18. Throwing it over to Washington. He makes 3 minutes before getting wrapped up, and wow. Got thrown up, too, lifted off of his feet. 12 minutes and 45 seconds remain.
Screen pass complete to Jaden
Third
Washington.
down and long.
Patrick Jenkins on the stop.
Third down and about 18. Ball on the 27-yard line. Tritons moving from right to left on your video monitor. Shotgun with doubles. Marker will be back to pass. He's looking long. He will fire over the middle. Desna! Oh! Reached out with one arm and almost brought it in. But it'll be a 4th and about 18. That would have been a huge play if Desna hauled that one in, but nope.
Miller leads the punt team on the field for the Tritons. Darius Jackson back deep for the Panthers.
52-32, 12 minutes and 12 seconds remain in the rest of the fourth quarter. Kick is up, crossing the 50, bouncing on the 35, still rolling, and the Tritons will just pick it up right there. That was Jamarian Wheeler who picked it up. Here we go. 1st and 10 for Ellsworth. Ball is going to be marked on the 35-yard line on their side. .12:05 on the clock. Ellsworth has more than enough time to come back and score and even get this victory. They scored 3 touchdowns in the second quarter. I mean, there's still 12 minutes remaining right here in the fourth. They're down by 3 possessions. It can certainly happen again. 52-32. Also, with all the times that they've had like a one shot down the field scoring. Uh-oh, we got a miscommunication on defense. We got a man who took a timeout, Iowa Central. Good. Ellsworth showed trips over on the strong side off to the right of Bauer, and the Tritons only had 2 defensive backs over there covering the 2 men. Now, there's a possibility they could have been in the zone, but the way that the defensive backs were acting, it seemed as if they weren't, and they were just missing a man over on this far side of the ball. 52-32, 12:05. Iowa Central just burned the first timeout of the second half. They have 2 remaining. Ellsworth has all 3. And that's something that the Tritons really needed a call there. And they certainly should have, too. Taking a look at Stroberg now, looks like his pads came off. You can expect him to sit the rest of this ball game. 12:05 on the clock in the fourth quarter, 52-32. Ellsworth has officially lost their starting right tackle. Back to pass and firing it long, going out there to try to make a play. And flag is thrown. That's pass interference number 6, if that's the call. They're telling 21 to put his hands down. Man. That's Daryl Matcham. It is a 15-yard penalty, and that is Matcham. So I believe that proves me right earlier that the guy that has 2 interceptions this half is Tracy Davis, wearing the 24 rather than the 23 on my roster sheet. But that's the 6th defensive pass interference this ball game against the Tritons. 52-32. Trips on the near side in the gun. There's also a wide receiver spread out wide. Back to pass. Going for a screen. Oh, that could have went for a screen pass even. Elected by the wide receiver that caught it. It will be a loss of 4. 2nd down and 14 as the pass was caught by Chris. Ball's now going to be on the 46-yard line. 11 and a half minutes remain in the fourth quarter. It's Panther ball. They're down by 20. Back to pass. Looking left. Will fire short. Incomplete. That one was intended for Mason Waldhart, who has been really good on his feet, starting tight end and receiver mixed player for them. But there's just a few times where he's just dropped the ball. I believe it's just him trying to, run with the ball rather than catch it first. 52-32, 11:23 on the clock. Shotgun formation in the doubles. Back to pass. Firing over towards Hall. Hall moves forward to the 50-yard line as they'll get back what they lost off that sack they had, or not a sack, but that 4-yard loss they had off the wide receiver screen a moment ago. 11 minutes remaining now. 52-32. It was Colton Miller with the stop that time. And here's a 4th and 10 now. Wow, big punt over the head of Hazlitt, and it goes into the end zone. Almost tracked down by a Panther backer. Just couldn't get there in time. The Iowa Central Tritons are going to start on their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10. 10:35 on the clock. Iowa Central's really relied on the pass today. It's really been either good for a lot of gains or not. I mean, it's definitely a different ball game today. 52-32. I just heard that Iowa State has the lead. They're up big against Ohio. In the pistol. Cal Weideman is out there as a back. Throwing a short little curl route to Desna Washington, who's going to move forward another 7 yards after he caught it. That's a pickup of 12 yards. And starting off the drive with another Triton first down. 52-32, 10 and a half minutes remain in the fourth quarter. Pistol formation, doubles on the far side. Rolling to his right before he fires. Cal Weideman was there.
Swing pass completed to Cal Weideman. Kamari Watson with a stop for the Panthers.
First down for the Panthers out here. There you go. Triton's starting to move the rock here through the air once more. Jamarian Wheeler is spread out wide. He's got wheels. Got to look out for him. Handing off outside. That's Kane Smith. That's his first attempt of the ball game. I just saw that Kane Smith was awarded the Triton Spotlight for Teammate of the Week. Props to Kane Smith now. Now he's getting some rebuttal because of it. Big run. Kane Smith is going to be going to the house. Inside zone. I was just saying that he was just awarded Teammate of the Week for everything he's done in practice, and now he'll take it to the house off of a 68-yard rushing attempt. Love it. That's the first rushing touchdown of the day. It came from Kane Smith. (58-32) now. 9:19 on the clock before the PAT. Kicks up from Wahey, and it's good. 59-32. 9:19 remaining in regulation. Ellsworth has been stunned in the second half, scoring only one time. Triton defense has came up huge in the third and fourth quarter. 59-32. They just got to keep it trucking. Close out the game, and this could be over before we know it. Now, the rule for continuous clock, if anyone is wondering, is over the score of 35 points. With this being 59-32, that is a 27-point difference. So the Tritons could score again and go for 2, make it 35 points, and then it would be continuous clock the rest of the game, which would play a huge factor for Ellsworth trying to come back. Oh, wow, and I see Bauer, the starting quarterback from Ellsworth, on the sideline. They're giving him ice right on his back. He took a big shot to the back of his hip in the first quarter, and now they're taping ice on his back that he's going to have to play with the rest of the game. And that's really bothering him. (59-32). We just saw a return to the 23-yard line for the Panthers. And it looks like they're going to even sit out. They're going to sit out Josh Bauer at least this drive. Maybe he won't even come back. We don't know. Coming in in relief of him is the backup quarterback, Isaac Weisnad, who has only one play earlier where he had a quarterback keeper. He ended up fumbling. Here's a handoff now to David Hall. 59-32, 9 minutes remain in the fourth quarter after the pickup of 3. Here's a 2nd and 7. Ball's on the 26. Starting quarterback Josh Bauer does have his pads off. I assume they're just doing that to give him some extra support. Tape up the ice. Not necessarily ruled out. Here we go with the throw. Looks like it was supposed to be a wide receiver screen. It went a little too far in front of the intended receiver that time, which was DeMiles Clark Tate. 3rd and 7, ball on the 26, 8:25 on the clock. Weinstead is out there. What will he do? Shotgun with doubles on each side. Weinstead will hand off to DeMiles Jack. Form tackle from number 10 now on the Triton side. That's Colbin Miller wrapping him up. 59-32, 8 minutes remain in the ball game. Ellsworth, within these past 3 drives, I feel like they're really starting to give up. They're worn out. Triton's got to keep it on the pedal, though. There's a big kick towards Hazlitt to make the grab and move forward. This is going to be brought down by 3 defenders. 59-32, 7 minutes and 38 seconds remain in the ball game. See what's next for the Iowa Central Tritons. They will come out with another new quarterback, number 10, Logan Williams. Williams with a handoff to Kane Smith, who had that 68-yard rushing touchdown a moment ago. He is still trucking through. Wow, this kid is wanting more carries. Feed him the ball. It's going to be a gain of 9, 2nd and 1 now. Ball will be marked on the 31-yard line. Malcolm Bryant was on the stop that time. There we go. Williams going to hand off to Kane Smith once more. There was a dog pile. Wasn't for sure where they'll place him. And there's a Triton first down. Flag is thrown after the play is called dead. Going to listen in to hear what they say. Unsportsmanlike conduct on number 18 of the defense. That's his first of the game. One more, and he's ejected. That's Michael Ackery, who's going to have to be subbed out. Taking his place is number 33, Sam Freund, who started today. 59-32. Tritons can keep it moving here. Going to send Sims in motion as he will take the handoff off a jet sweep. He moves up at least 5 yards and then chucks a man out of bounds. Another long run for the Tritons. 2nd and 5. If you're at the ball game today and you heard that, concession stands will be closing in 5 minutes, so if you want a last-second treat, go out and get it. 59-32, under 7 minutes to play, and the clock is ticking. Here we go. Hand off to Kane Smith. He'll be stopped at the line of scrimmage. .6:45 on the clock. .59-32, 6.5 minutes remain. Here goes Sims in motion. Logan Williams is back to pass. He'll step up, and he'll be brought down. Sacked by number 44. That's Eliza Johnson. Penalty was thrown after the play was dead again. See the call here.
After the play, you have dead ball, foul, 9 of the offense. That's a 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
I heard personal foul.
Correction, 4th down.
Okay, there we go. First personal foul is against the offense. It's 4th down. 59-32, 6 minutes and 5 seconds remain. Here comes the punting unit. We've yet to see the punting unit since, what, the third? It's been the third quarter? Actually, I don't have a single punt in the second half for the Tritons. This is the first. There you go, big improvement since the first half. Here's a big kick. It's going to bounce past the 30, 25, and still rolling. It'll land on the 23-yard line. 5 minutes, 55 seconds remain in the fourth quarter. How will Ellsworth come out and answer? .59-32. The band is still strumming out there. 5:56 on the clock. Here's Weinson. He comes out in the gun with doubles on each side. He will keep it for himself. Going to have to slide right away. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage. Props to the Ellsworth Panther cheerleading squad. If you can hear them, they're still cheering around for their Panthers. Loud and proud. .5:25 on the clock, 2nd and 10. 59-32, the Tritons lead it. Weinstead comes out with a new back. I see 21. Oh, papers are flying. The wind has really kicked up. That's Leonardo Araujo with the carry. Now, this is the windiest it's been all day long. Blowing hard into the north. That's good for Ellsworth. They're going with the wind. Back to pass. Firing deep. Long shot. Going to end up at the feet of Gilly. That was a big third down conversion. Didn't go their way. There's 4.5 minutes remaining in the rest of the ball game. 59-32. The Tritons can use time management and clock it out the rest of the game here. Let's see how they can settle it. Punt is up. That one is going out of bounds. It bounces out near the 40-yard line at Montalto's feet. Montalto even made the catch, actually. There you go, Coach. 59-32, 4:22 on the clock. Panthers are looking defeated on the sideline. They have fought very hard today. They should be really proud of the way they have played today and this season. They're not playing like an 0-3 football team, which will be their record once losing today. In the pistol, here's Logan Williams. Looking right, he'll fire. That one was caught and brought in. That was Cisneros who made the catch. A pickup of 6 yards. It's a 2nd and 4 now, and the clock is ticking. We go now, a handoff, working up the middle. He's off to the races. Oh, big tackle. 26 was the man there to get the rush. That's Spencer Zinn on the carry. Another first down for the Tritons, another pickup of 25+. I hear Sam Mitchell was on the tackle for Ellsworth. 59-32, 3:45 on the clock. Inside zone, going back to Zinn. He got back to the line of scrimmage and maybe got a few more. 3.5 minutes remain. Tritons have a 27-point lead. That time it was Malcolm Bryant plugging the holes. 2nd and 7, ball on the 26. Williams, hands off. There goes in again, he breaks free. He has 3 to beat, but he can't get through. Great job. That's going to be another Triton first down. Pick up a 15. First and goal, ball on the 7-yard line. Logan Williams. Gonna hand off, but that's not gonna go anywhere. Even a loss of 2, it looks like. So it'll be a 2nd and goal from the 9-yard line. Oh, 12 even, actually. Backed them up even more. 2nd and goal from the 12. There go Williams with a pump fake, running forward. He wants to score his first collegiate touchdown. He stretches his arm forward. Let's see if they give it to him. Yes, they do. Logan Williams gets his first career touchdown in a Triton uniform. Welcome to college football, Logan Williams. It's a 12-yard rushing touchdown, the second rushing touchdown of the ball game. 65-38. 2 minutes and 8 seconds remain, and we got a new kicker coming out, the 54 for the Tritons. Ooh. There's a kick through the upright. Miles Ludgood was the kicker making the PAT. 66-32, the Tritons have the lead. 2 minutes and 8 seconds remain for the rest of the ball game in Fort Dodge, Iowa. Point we're standing at right now, we're 3 hours and 17 minutes into the ball game since the kickoff. Right now, on pace, we're going about 20 minutes faster than the first half. (66-32), waiting for the kickoff now from the Triton side. It's Miles Ludgood. Here comes the kick. Streaking down towards the 20, returning by Darius Jackson now. Tracy Davis making the play. He just may be the player of the game. 2 interceptions today for Tracy Davis. As I finally got the official call from Brownie up in the PA booth, it was Tracy Davis.
First and 10, Ellsworth in their own 26.
(66-32), first and 10, Ellsworth at their own 26. 2 minutes and a second remains. Handoff outside, running forward. Marcus Cranshaw got the carry. It was Branson Peters on the tackle for the Tritons. So we have a whole load of some of our second stringers out there taking the field. Good to see. A minute and a half remains, 66-32, and Ellsworth has taken their time to call for the next play. In the Cadillac, doubles on the strong side. It's going to be a handoff. Coming in for the tackle, 16 and 26 for IC3. Let's see who that was. That's Xavier Reese out of Lafayette, Indiana, and also had Desmond Grace from Sioux City, Iowa.
Tomorrow, that's Sunday the 25th, as they host New Page. Kickoff at noon. That's a week from tomorrow. Sunday,
45 seconds remaining in the rest of this ball game. The play clock is at 15. 3rd and 15. This could be the second to last play. They hand off. And there you go. It will now be 4th and near 17. But that will be the final score, 66-32. The Tritons win it. What a ball game it was. It was a game that was really sloppy in the first half. The Tritons tied their ends together and got it done in the second half. They only punted one time in the second half, which was something that was a huge improvement. And the Tritons win the blood rivalry against the Ellsworth Panthers as they beat them for the collegiate battle of New 20. 66-32, the final score. Got to see a lot of new faces out on the field for the first time. A lot of debuts at the college football level, so that's awesome. Been very fun to call today. We got DuPage next week for homecoming. You're not going to want to miss it. If you can make it live, please come live. If you can not make it live, check out the live stream starting for a noon kickoff. Big thank you to Donnie and Derek for running cameras, Rusty from the trailer for giving you this broadcast today, and thank you for tuning into the broadcast. I'm Hank Ambrose, and I'll catch you next time for Triton Nation's YouTube channel.